Hello, and welcome to the Captain's Table. My name is Paul Bazooka1 Batman Shelley, and these are the guests for episode 9, I believe, or episode 10 if you count the live episode. Starting at the top, we have Gio, who's eating delicious foods.
My $5 fill up from KFC.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not endorsed by KFC, by the way.
Please,
you guys know.
Please endorse him, KFC. Please endorse him.
Thank you.
Then we have Grakes.
Hello.
Below Grakes, we have Trendane. And next to Trendane, we have Monkey, a.k.a. Board Gamer UK.
Hello.
And next to Board Gamer, we have Noobifier, a.k.a. the Noobifier 1.
Hello, everyone.
So, Captain's Table, for those of you guys who don't know, who just tuned in, the Captain's Table is a place where we talk about Star Citizen. I bring community members every week, a different setup of community members, to talk about the game, the current status, what they want to see in the future, just, round table discussion. We talk a little bit about the stuff that's going on today, but if we get on a tangent about space hookers and cocaine, we will talk about space hookers and cocaine. So just kind of how it works. Yes, everyone wants space hookers and cocaine.
2.4.
2.4.
Confirmed. Space hookers.
Space hookers.
I don't even know what Star Citizen is.
It's a scam.
For life.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So, I'm guessing, have all of you had a chance to play 2.4? Trend, do you even have a computer that can run 2.4, Trendane?
I can get into my hangar and I can walk around and go, that's really cool. And then it just kind of
not much has changed.
Lights in the house sort of start browning out. And
Right, so 2.4 has been the best Star Citizen experience I've had ever. There's gameplay in the persistent universe, and it's fun. The PT was really great. I've had so much fun. There's been so much iteration in the last few patches as well during the PTU.
I mean, they've added freaking insurance.
Insurance.
Yeah, it's insurance, but
yeah.
The
it's
idea,
a step. It's a good step.
Yeah. So I like it. I like that. It's been going in the right direction, and I think it's been I wouldn't say it's the biggest patch, but I would say it's one of the bigger patches we've had in the last.
It's the biggest patch since 2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 20 gigs, isn't it? Every time.
Oh man.
Well, it depends because it's like 30 gigs now or something like that, like a little under 30. But they've been able to keep it just under 30 for since 2.0.
They've got a way to go to get to that 100 gig size that they said a while ago.
So we can throw a party. We can throw a party with Chris Roberts when he reaches 100 gigs, right?
So that means it's 30% done, yeah?
Yeah.
Because they've got 30. That's how it works.
Totally. That's exactly how it works. They're 30% done.
So what's going to happen if we hit 100 gigs and 200 million at the same time?
Oh my god.
Space hook.
That's definitely Illuminati when that happens.
Space hookers and blow for everybody. Space hookers
Everyone.
and blow for everybody.
Free Buccaneers for everyone.
Yes.
Buccaneers. Everyone gets a Bengal. Fucking go big.
Yes. Bangles everywhere.
Not crashing into each other,
Listen.
I want the bagel carrier.
Yeah, go ahead,
Bagel.
You're what was that?
I was saying, not the ship, not the Bengal ship. They're going to unleash tigers upon all of us.
Actual tigers.
Actual tigers. We're going to buy tigers for everyone.
Yeah, they're just going to throw them through a window of our house.
In a more serious note, I was promised bagel carriers at 100 million. Where's my fucking bagel carrier?
Cream cheese. Yeah.
Scam. That's scam. See, there it goes. Told you guys.
Where's my bagel carriers? Trendane. Come on, Trendane. You want to say it. You know you do.
Dude. I'm trying to be good on this show.
You don't have to be good on this show. Are you kidding me? None of us have been.
Are we not supposed to play fuck?
Do I ever act good on any shows? Look at me.
Depends. Well, never mind.
For me at the moment, in the PTU, in the Star Citizen, in the mini PU while they're testing stuff, I want stuff to be a lot more punishing.
Yeah.
I loved Eve. That it was such a if you did something really well, like the Dark Souls thing, you do something really well, you get rewarded.
Mhm.
If you die, you do something wrong, you crash, you get punished for it, and you feel that punishment. That should be loads of your money gone, your Alpha UEC, but the rewards there should be there as well if you do well for a while. I want that just for them to test it.
If they make it too hard, though, then no one will test it. So, I mean, there is a balance.
Giggity.
The game should be like that. The testing, I'm okay with it being BS for now. Like, I'm okay with it being false, that you lose your ship, who cares, you get a new one, right? But game day 0, that's when it's going to be a fucking learning curve straight up, where someone's going to take their ship and fly it into the sun because they think it's fun, and then they realize, oh God, I have to wait 2 weeks to get my ship back. So, I mean, there's got to be a balance there, and it's testing. So I agree with you, but not now. I don't think personally now.
And when they do that, they need to make that announcement. They need to make it very clear before
weeks in advance. Yeah.
Right.
No. It's one of those things that this community would flip a literal shit table made out of shit to if that happened just suddenly. People are like, what? I can't play the game for 2 weeks because my fucking Aurora's gone? It's like, well, yeah, you dumbass. You shouldn't have just...
It doesn't matter on how many things that say on someone's screen, your ships are now live. If you lose them, they're lost. You need to have insurance. You can't run it into the sun, even if you've got insurance, or it will be out for a week. It doesn't. If you write it as an essay before you played, people would still complain that they didn't understand.
Well,
but we can make videos. We'll make videos for the next months in advance of that. So, I mean, it would be ignorance at that point. I think if you could basically tell someone that they're dumb.
Yeah.
Because they're ignorant, right? It's not us that didn't tell. It's not the game that didn't say that now it's live.
Not only would the game be talking about it and the devs be talking about it, but every content creator out there would be talking about it. Every live streamer would be talking about it.
It's going to be common knowledge.
And
a lot of people don't have common sense.
No.
Common.
Those are the people that are going to be blowing up.
Like,
it's fun.
the thing about common sense is that it's not common or something like that.
Yes.
Is some
Definitely nowadays.
Yeah. So
it
They
needs
want
to
their
be the
easy mode
74-point fine print. You are stupid.
yeah.
Right across the screen.
Son, though, it's just going to be someone else's ship. So I hope I can get their insurance doing it.
Mental note: don't get on his ship.
Oh, there's just a few people you just don't want to let on your ships, and it's like Grakes, Baron, Saurus, Twerk.
Oh my God!
Anybody who live streams, because we will take your ship and just be gone with it for the lulls. Anyone who has a YouTube or live stream, just be like, nope, don't trust them, because we will film your humiliation, and then we will put it up on the internet for everyone to see.
Yes.
Or our humiliation. Usually ours.
Usually our humiliation.
That's true. Because every little thing that you don't do right, it will be magnified by 100.
And then 1,000 people about it.
So, I was a little surprised about the pricing for the Buccaneer. Not too surprised, but it seems like it was a slightly... It makes sense now that they did the $10 voucher for those who had the Cutlass Black.
Cutlass, yeah.
Because it was, 110 versus 100. Now, I'm fairly sure that price is going to increase, and I think that's a fair increase for.
It says at the bottom. It says at the bottom of the post. They're probably going to
increase.
That's a good value. That ship is a good value.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If you like guns, it's good value.
What kind of role do you think it'll play other than just another fighter in the verse? Because we've had fucking thousands of fighter in the verse.
Escort. It's very, very fast. It'll be a great escort, in my opinion, and it has enough guns to make it so that you wouldn't want to necessarily go toe to toe by yourself against it, because you know that it could wreck you if you let it, right?
Yeah.
So
you think it's gonna be kind of like a saber in that sense?
No, I think it's more of a deterrent than I even think it's more of a deterrent than a saber, because it could technically be quicker than the saber just based on its size 3 engines. Like, that thing is. If you read into what they're saying about it, it should be very fast, very armed, and kind of armored. Not really.
It's a glass power.
About it.
That's what I'm thinking.
What was that?
Yeah.
What was that, Monkey?
I think it's going to be restricted by its power supply.
Okay.
Yep.
Because it's a Drake, they can't do everything.
Yeah.
It is, however, going to be an amazing straight-up fighter.
Oh, yeah.
When you get stuff with like the Saber and stuff, the Saber's not a straight-up fighter. The Saber's got loads of tech there. It's going to be stealthy. It's going to have lots of like clever stuff. Whereas the Drake ship, it might not have as many countermeasures. It might run really
A fucking
hot.
fist.
It's going to have lots of downsides to it, but it is going to be one of the best straight, simple fighters at that price and at that kind of class.
Yeah. So it'll be like if someone is doing wants a longer range version of say like a Gladius, like in the game. So they have the Gladius and they want to upgrade their ship to another better ship. Then the Buccaneer would be like one of those direct upgrades.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Different Gladius. A different flight style. That's the thing, is they haven't gone through all the balancing of all of these ships yet. They haven't included all the extra systems. We don't have item.
Heck, we don't even have the port system yet, or not the port system, the piping system yet. Like this piping system they've shown.
Armor system on these ships yet, so we really haven't gotten into how they're going to fly in final form. So I don't think of it as an upgrade to a Gladius. I think of it as a different flight style in that range. So the Saber's going to be one gameplay style, but fall into that range. The Buccaneer's going to be another one. The Gladius will be another. So it's, how do you prefer to play? All right, this will be the ship for you out of this grouping, but they all kind of do the same thing. They're just going to do it different.
I do feel that the ship's going to be quite moddable. If you read the full concept cell stuff, it talks about that it can fill multiple roles quite easily. So you can outfit it for close-range escort or for long-range missions and lots of stuff. So I do think it's going to be very moddable. But I do think that it's going to have some quite devastating bad points, and I think they're going to be things like it's going to sharp on every sensor for miles. It's going to burn a load of heat unless you really manage the systems and stuff like that. It's going to definitely have its downsides because it's got so many guns.
It'll glow, is what you're saying. It's gonna glow like oh, there's a Buccaneer.
Yeah,
Just show up on sensors.
oh, I'm mining. There's a Buccaneer. I wonder what he could want.
Maybe it's Taurus.
Captain, is that a comet? No.
I
I like that. I like that. It looks like a Havoc. Have you guys ever seen a helicopter before?
yeah. It looks very similar to that.
Yeah,
that
it's all
Havoc.
angular. It looks like it was built in someone's garage, right?
But
That's what I love about it. It's got like the X-wing look. Like X-wings are kind of
angle,
like
yeah.
raggedy fighters, and then like the Aegis ships are more like a TIE fighter or the Empire ships, like real sleek looking ships. So that's why I like what it brings to the table, unlike some of the other ships.
that's an interesting point you bring up.
Together.
What was that, Crocker?
So
I said the Z95 if it got bolted together like in someone's.
Yeah, like a to-do or whatever version of the Z95. Yeah, like a DIY version of the Z95.
brought up an interesting point though. So the way it looks, if you saw that as untextured and didn't know what it was, would you think it's a Drake ship?
Now that I've seen the Herald, yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
it has a Herald look, definitely.
We had only just got like a true look at what the Herald's going to look like. So Cutlass, no, you know what I mean? Like, but yes, now I think I can see it.
I was hoping that they were going to put in the lore that they had copied stuff from Anvil or something like that, or they were influenced by the Hornet or something.
Just the way the cockpit's set up, how angular and square it is, it's quite Cutlass, it's quite Herald. You know what I mean? It's okay. It has the look, and it's not like, BMW versus Mercedes. It's not like cut and dry, like, oh yeah, oh my God. But I can a slight stretch and I can see it. Yeah, it's definitely not an Anvil ship. It's definitely not. You do reverse psychology. Is it something else? No. Then it is a Drake, right?
The one thing that I noticed is that it looks a lot like the Brutus from the Next Great Starship competition. If you guys remember that one, the one that was done by Team Shimapan, the one that was the three dudes who all three work for CIG now. I think that's the Drake Brutus.
Convenient.
Look up the Shimapan concept because it looks almost exactly like the Shimapan concept for the gunship.
To be honest, I like actually some of the earlier concepts they showed on around the verse. I actually like some of those better than the final one that they got to.
Yeah.
Some of their designs, I don't know. It would have switched it up a little bit. I don't know.
So how about this as a question? What I would think about would be like, you have, if you own another ship that's close to what a Buccaneer is, at what point, what ship should you upgrade from to, right? Like, what would be your threshold? I've been talking with guys, and some guys are talking about, oh, I'm going to melt down my Super Hornet and go get a Buccaneer. I'm like, no,
No.
don't do that, you know, like. And then there's other guys that are like, I'm going to go melt my Dur and go get a Buccaneer. I'm like, okay, well, that's a fucking paradigm shift. If you don't want to do exploration, then good.
Yeah.
But you know, like, that's like, it's almost like they're just looking at the next shiny, right? So it's nice to evaluate.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay. No, I bought one, so I'm guilty as charged, right? I get it. And I bought a CCU because I have a Delta. I love the ship, and I'm expecting the Buccaneer to behave. I'm hoping, anyways, that it'll behave like the Delta, a Super Delta, we'll call it. So it has the guns and it has no shields, just like the Delta. So I bought the CCU. It's sitting there. I'm not going to use it because it's stupid. I lose the access to my Delta in the meantime, but I'm okay with that. And then the nice thing is, in the future, if it does turn out to be a dog, which I'm not expecting, because on paper it looks really good, and so far we haven't been like really fucked, then the Delta gets melted and it becomes a Buccaneer, and I'm good to go with that. So what's your guys' opinion on that? Like, what do you think is if you had an X ship, yes, 100% switch it out for a Buccaneer.
If I had to, it would be my Gladius. But I already bought one. I didn't have to CCU it, but the closest thing would be really a Gladius in my eyes, and I would switch for this because just for the fact I like the old torn kind of look to it or whatever, and I want one of those in my fleet. That'd probably be like the only reason.
Okay.
Maybe the F7, not F7CM, but the flat Hornet, just
base Hornet, yeah.
Base Hornet, maybe doing one of those for it. It depends on which one looks better to you. Which one do you like more? It's like
those are the same price, aren't they? They're almost exactly the same price, or base Hornet?
The thing about the base Hornet is that it's about 150, I believe, maybe 130. I think is for it.
Wait a minute, I thought the Super Hornet was 165.
Yeah, the base Hornet's like down.
Is it down there? Okay, so it might be around the same thing as the base Hornet. The difference between the base Hornet and the Buccaneer, and the one thing that I always say is that if you're looking to change ships, look at the rolls, not the stats. You're looking at the stats right now, you're going to get burned. You're going to get burned hard between now and release if you try to look at the stats.
Oh yeah.
But
I'm all about looks.
But the looks, if you like the looks and if you like the rolls. So the Buccaneer, as we said, is kind of like it's an escort ship. It's an interceptor. So if you had something like a 325A and you wanted something that's a little bit heavier, then that would be a good upgrade. If you wanted something that's more interceptor versus the F7A, because the F7A is more of like a multi-role fighter. It's more like, okay, we want to do a bombing mission, or we want to do something that's designed to take out heavier ships. Then you're going to choose the F7A. Whereas the Buccaneer probably will punch about its weight class or below. It can't punch above. In terms of just sheer amounts of weapons and stuff like that. So
yeah, base Hornet, and that are the same price, 110.
Okay,
right.
I think that if anyone just wants a straight up fighter with no cargo capacity, this is one of the best choices. Mm-hmm. And I would pretty much switch any ship if I wanted a straight up fighter that was below a Sabre or a Super Hornet. I'd keep my Sabre and my Super Hornet, but a Delta, I'd switch. A Gladius, I'd switch. Any of the Hornets.
Any 300.
Yeah, as long as you don't any 300s, as long as you don't care about stealth, as long as you don't care about anything else other than shooting stuff with conventional weapons. And so, do we know if they're missiles or rocket pods?
It looks like rocket pods. There's too many of them for it to be missiles. There's like a group of them, right? So it has to me that looked like a missile pod, a rocket pod, like the Delta, not like 20 size 1 missiles.
I think I like that more.
It's that gives me the more like the super Delta, as you say. That sounds more like a super Delta sort of thing. But I will say that don't necessarily upgrade it directly from, say, like the Gladius. The only thing I would say about the Gladius has got for it is that it's small and it's maneuverable. In 2.4, they buffed the shit out of it. Like, it is no longer the shit that people have been bitching about the Gladius for the last couple patches about how terrible it's become. It's much better now than it used to be.
Well, it should outperform as far as maneuvering is. It should outperform the Sabre.
Yeah.
Because it is the same geometry. Everything is the same, and it's lighter.
Yeah.
So
What would probably happen as well is that I can almost guarantee you that the Gladius will outperform a Buccaneer in the long run in terms of maybe not in straight
until
line
it gets shot by
speeds.
it,
Once it hits, it's over.
fucking over. Size 4, man. Done.
In what terms do you think it will outperform? Sorry.
In terms of maneuverability. Because I think in straight line speed, the Buccaneer is probably going to beat anything. Because it's that what I'm seeing with Drake is that Drake is good in straight lines. If you can get Drake ship in a straight line, that Drake ship's going to beat everybody in that, except for maybe a racing ship.
I really like that about that manufacturer, though, because they're trying to. So if you take it down as if they were a real company, they're trying to appeal to masses by fluffing up their figures. So rather than going for agility, they're going, but look at our top speed.
Yeah.
I really like that.
So here's
we
the
go
question
0 to
then.
160 meters per second in less than 1 second, or whatever. And then the Hornet takes 2 seconds to do that, kind of thing.
But when I was watching the official kind of the day before release on ATV, I got the impression that they were saying that it is very maneuverable and very, very, very good top speed.
Oh, I'm sure it's maneuverable, but I'm sure it's. I wouldn't.
But compared to what, right? So maneuverable like a Gladius, what you're saying totally makes sense, that they'll make it very, very fast in a straight line and that it'll be okay for maneuvering. So maybe very maneuverable for a Drake, but relative to everything else, kind of not, right?
Average
so maybe
to
that's
low.
the Achilles heel that Monkey's talking about, that, okay, don't get in front of it. Treat it like a Connie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't get in front of it, but stay away from it because that's your advantage when you're dealing with it.
I feel that you're going to be fighting groups of them, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because they're
Yeah,
cheap
yeah.
enough that you could easily.
Yeah, like a TIE fighter. You're now dealing with a swarm.
Yeah.
But that's it. These are going to be very standard NPC pirate ships, I feel.
Yeah.
So we're going to start to see big swarms of them, and I'm kind of glad that we have this. Obviously, a lot of people were like, "Oh God, another fighter."
An M50. Oh my God. But like 3 pirates and an M50, like that doesn't even make sense, right?
Well, to be honest, I like seeing the manufacturer. 'Cause I think Drake, needed one.
It needed
was
a fighter.
definitely needed.
It didn't have a fighter.
Yes, and then I'll actually want to see like a super like Hornet version of a Drake ship, or like a heavy hitter like that, a deep space fighter or something like that, also to go with the Drake.
I don't think they do that. I don't think they make a ship like that.
No, that's the Cutlass anyways.
The Cutlass. And the Cutlass is going to go under its own redesign. So,
It just.
I'm hoping that they're going to buff the shit out of the Cutlass because I really want that ship to be successful. It's been around for so long and there's been so much drama back and forth about it that people have had so much good and bad and everyone's pissed off at it. Maybe not everyone, but, within reason, that should be a successful ship. Yes, the Bucky is great for those people that are pissed off with it and they want out now. But I think that in the future, in 6 months, they're going to say, time to unmelt, because it's going to be that good. That's what I'm hoping anyways.
I don't think it'll be a combat ship, but I think what it'll end up being is being something like the Vanguard is, or the Lancer is, in the sense that it's going to be a ship there, that it'll have huge guns on it. It will be dangerous. It can hold a little bit of cargo, but it's not exactly the most nimble thing in the universe. So you can, if you really wanted that fast, heavy fighter, Buccaneer. If you really wanted that cargo ship that can also deal some pain, Cutlass sort of thing. But and I like it. I think we needed to fill out the Drake roster a little bit because it's been one of the ones that has been very not touched. Anvil and Drake are the 2 ones that have very, very few entries into them. I mean, Anvil only has 3 ships in its roster. And up to now, Drake only had 3 as well. You had the Cutlass, the Caterpillar, and the Herald. Now the Buccaneer, so there's 4. Whereas if you look at the fucking Aegis ships, there's like 6 or 7 Aegis ships that exist. So
Aegis. As much as I'm an Aegis fanboy, they need no more ships from Aegis. No. Love them. That's my favorite ship, but no, done.
You are excluding variants there, I take it.
Who's making the motorcycle one?
The base
Dragonfly.
one. And also the Dragonflies. Now there's 5 ships from Drake because we're the Dragonfly.
Right, and that's cool. Like I'm hoping to see that pretty soon. That looks like fun.
We're in the age of Drake. That's what we are right now. It's Drake's Interplanetary Fortune 5, whatever,
I still wish they had made the Corvette Drake. I want a Drake
Oh,
Corvette.
a Drake Corvette would be so.
Oh,
It fits so perfectly with the lore too, with them
I
being
know.
like them being a more of a pirate manufacturer than it's a Corvette, which is more of a raider ship anyway.
I think the Caterpillar pretty much. I mean, it's not a Corvette, but it's there already, right? It's their base ship, so well, I think they're good for now.
Yeah, someone's asking how many MISC ships I think there's a total of.
Oh yeah.
6.
I know Aegis has to be first, and then Aegis has to be. I mean, Misk has to be second because they have like the most ships.
Are you counting the whole series as one ship? Because there's
Uh,
there.
Now, I would consider the whole series to be different because it's not like there's variants. There's literally different ships. Like
Yeah.
Anything with a hull variant, I classify as a different ship.
Then I would think that there would be more than.
so we got the
Yeah, Misk is definitely the winner if you were to split them up like that.
yeah, it is then because you got Endeavor, you got the Prospector, the whole series if you counted all those.
Freelancer.
And all the freelancers,
Freelancer is Reliant.
farers. Yeah. So I mean, but that's good though. You notice they don't have any fighters, and I'm very happy that they did that because it's just like Volvo. You don't think of Volvo making a fighter, right? They make trucks and things that are really, really practical and useful.
They got one. They got the Reliant variant one.
yeah, the
not a-
Reliant. Well, I don't remember the
Tana.
Fighter,
Yeah.
kind of, but that's not really a Misk ship, is it? That's a Misk and Jian venture,
Well,
right?
all MISC ships are MISC and GN ventures because they,
Okay.
they hire
enough.
GN engineers. That's
Yeah.
and designers because that's the reason like the Freelancer used to have its like dual modes. It was flying straight and then the wings would tip up and it'd become a vertical like thing. And they changed that around,
Yeah.
thank God. But that was like the Xi'an inspired design because Xi'ans fly sideways. Because they're sideways
crabs.
people.
That's not
Crabs.
species.
That's not speciesist. I don't trust the Xi'an. I don't trust the Xi'an as far as I can throw them, and they're pretty freaking big people. So
If you're on a low gravity planet, you can throw them pretty far.
there are also Ninja Turtles, though. Oh no, that's the. They are Ninja Turtles. So I don't know. They're Kappa
play-
demons. So.
Friends with a lot of them, so that I can stuff them with my cutlass blue and make them fight each other for my amusement.
You could name them,
So-
give them names from the Ninja Turtles, and they'll be confused.
This is something I wanted to ask other people in the know or part of what's going on. So we know that the Vandal ships are going to be. They've said they're going to be lower gravity.
Yeah, low gravity.
Yeah, low gravity. So you could jump there. The Vandal are built to jump around basically on low gravity. Do we think that the gravity generators we have in our ships or the Vandal ships that we get onto, we can change the gravity levels, or is it just going to be on off?
I think you'll be able to change the because if they have already built it into the system, it would make sense for them to be able to do low gravity in some
Yeah.
cases.
Where you could
So
set it higher.
It'd be hard though to portray that to the player, other than your move speed would be down, or you'd need like something on your HUD that popped up like high or low gravity.
I don't know
because
if you could get high gravity. I think they could probably do low gravity. The only problem
know
with
what I mean?
high
Like-
gravity would be
Really slow.
yeah.
No, but that's what I mean. Like if like Monkey's proposing to say fuck the Vandal, put them on the ship and just turn the gravity like to 1.5, and then they can't, like they're so used to not having gravity that now they're like just crushed. But you'd have to be able to portray that, and I personally don't think I would want that mechanic in the game, because as much as it's cool, I also don't think that it would be fun to
No.
play like that. You know,
That's
like,
kind of true because there'd be no point in turning the gravity on and off then because you would just be able to control it to like squish somebody or just
No.
float around.
So I don't mean extreme as gravity weapons. I mean so setting the gravity to as you said like 1.5, so that people in heavy armor would be losing stamina a lot quicker.
Yeah, and everyone would.
There's a certain limit to it.
Yeah, I think to a degree it would work, and I think it would work specifically with some ships. Like Trendane, you probably know more about the lore than I do about that. Are there any low gravity ships or anything like that?
Sort of. The first thing that came to mind was the planet Tomb in the, I think it's in the Charon system. It's a place where the Vandul basically drop a lot of their harvester. No, it's not in the Charon system. It's in the
Is it in Orion?
Tiber,
Oh,
Tiber
yeah.
system, I think. And like huge battles have happened there, and just gigatons of stuff have just fallen on the surface of the planet, and the Vandul deploy these monstrous harvesters that just they look like snow plows or zambonis with big teeth, and they just scoop shit up and just crush it, pulp it, convert it into whatever they need to build more of their ships. And I mean, everything gets harvested: teeth, bone, metal, everything. And
Unreal ships are made of people.
well,
They're
probably
made of
parts them.
people.
Probably parts of them. I think the Galactic Guide entry specifically said that it was converted into whatever is needed to fuel the Vandal war machine. So not just the things, but I imagine that they also eat
People confirmed.
Yeah.
I want a glaive now if it's made of people.
But
Sounds great.
now, my perception is that the Vandal have been a spacefaring race for so long that they've adjusted to low gravity on the ships, and so that they're more used to that. But that doesn't mean that they exclusively do that. So I'm sure that they can operate on the surface of a planet where they have normal gravity and whatnot. Now, for most of the thing that you guys have been describing was as far as adjusting the gravity quotient on the ship has been PvP sort of, well, at least combat based sort of thing. Now let's take it the other direction. Let's go with maybe you've got a piece of cargo that is very, very sensitive to the specific gravity levels, and you know these eggs that you're transporting have a very thin shell, and they come from a medium to low gravity planet, and if you transport them at 1G, they will collapse in on themselves. So you have to crank your gravity down to like 0.6 or something, and then you got to be kind of careful.
Yeah, you have to fly nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, like
There's
for
lots
instance,
of reasons.
there's plenty of science fiction out there where you have people who say, okay, we like transports are always in low gravity or no gravity environments because it makes it easier to store all of this, store and move all the heavy materials from the cargo bays to where they need to go.
Cheaper on power.
And it's cheaper on power and everything
Yeah,
else like
like
that. Whereas
everything.
other ships
A lot
might
of
be,
that in Babylon 5.
like Babylon 5, where it's so expensive for them to rotate the ships to make them gravity that most of them just go 0G because it's easier to maneuver in. So I would see like maybe even like the Endeavor would have those kind of things for sure on it, because it would make sense that especially if someone's like recuperating from like a broken bone, it'd probably easier for them to be living on a lower gravity setting than it would be from a higher gravity setting, so they can move around more.
I don't think so.
But then you get into the whole. Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Calcium decay?
Yeah, it's true. The calcium decay.
So I was like, well,
But I mean, the idea that there would be certain situations in which lower gravity in lore would make sense, let alone that. And so in lore, it would also make sense in game, and that it would force people to change their playstyles up. If someone knows that this ship is usually in low gravity, they might bring an EVA pack with them rather than, if they're attacking it, rather than, relying on the ship's gravity to function. So.
Do we have inertial dampeners confirmed? Because, like, honestly, without, like, if you had just, they would have no choice, right? Because the ship accelerates, and you're effectively a blob in space, and you're going to go splat against the back. So, right? So we need that. So at that point, if the technology's in the game anyways, in your case, you could, like when you're talking about the eggs, let's say, you could probably have a stasis sustained box, or you have to fly extra fancy. So like that could be another game mechanic that you have to go pay for the box that makes it so you could fly like normal, or you have to do the game mechanic and it's like a higher skill rating, I guess.
There's a couple of guys in the back just holding the egg.
just hire crew members.
Slow down.
depending on the size of your ship, you may have more than one inertial compensator, field generator kind of thing, so that you might think, oh crap, we've got borders, and so you just switch off the inertial generators everywhere but the cockpit, and you take a hard left turn, and
Right.
you're on the wall.
Yeah.
But something like a freelancer is going to be too small.
Yeah.
Even the smallest of inertial dampeners are going to cover the whole ship. So larger ships, you can have that kind of.
But I also don't think that CIG would ever put that into the game, because then no one would board an Idris, right?
was
Like
a
no one would
question.
ever board it.
There was actually a question on 10 for the Chairman at one point.
Yeah.
It was when I take a really quick turn, and I turn off my gravity or whatever, will it kill people? And they went, no, not.
Well, yeah, they can't do it because, again, no one would play the game, right? Because it'd just be dead. Like that whole part of the game would be just over.
I don't think there's a technical reason they couldn't do it, because we've seen other games that have done that style of let's change the gravity from 1G to 0.5G to 0G, and you can see the movement change. And they usually are faking the movement change, but it's at the very least you could see the physical effects. So if you can generate gravity and 0G, it would make sense to have sort of transition. And there's even a couple of games out now that actually are doing that. That are
I
doing
suppose a lot of
the whole,
games
like transition.
with Star Citizen, I suppose that they might look at that and see if it's fun. If it's fun and works, they might use it. If it isn't and doesn't, then they won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be in 2.5 just to test, and then they say, no, it's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
In
Sure.
2.5 confirmed. Thanks, Googlefire.
Yes. By the way, everything we say in
Inertia.
chat, everything we theorize here, even if it's just maybe it'll be in, it's all confirmed. Please post all your concern threads on the official forums.
Oh, Lando's gonna get us now.
I've been doing this every week, and Lando has yet to even
gonna
show
get-
up to the
you're gonna
captain's
get
table.
P-banned
so I'm
now,
just gonna
right?
keep doing it until that happens.
Bad.
We're bad. No more Pneumafire. Go play Eve.
Oh shit.
Saying that the captain's table is incorrect about inertial dampeners. You don't have them in the game yet.
2.5. 2.5 according to Pneumafire. It's in there.
I was thinking about the gravity stuff, though. It is already in there, actually.
It is.
They haven't set it up where we can interact with it, but there was that bug in the hangar a long time ago with the Gray Cat where it kept sliding around the floor.
Mm-hmm.
That was because the gravity to the object actually got misset, and it was flipping between like 100 gravity on it and 0 gravity, which is why it was like dragging super slow and not moving, and it was pinned, and you could see it like on its springs crushed down, and then it would hit a spot and go to 0G and just flip all over the place.
So not
there's
a bug.
a way they can change the
Not a
gravity.
bug.
It was a feature. It was a feature.
It was an Easter egg.
Yeah.
That was the $35 million stretch goal.
Yeah.
There you go.
So if you guys do have any questions for us, we're coming towards the end of the first hour. After the first hour, we do take questions from the audience. So if you have any questions, hit !! questions in chat, and that will give you a form to go to. Fill out that form, which will send you to it's a Google form, and then I will get the questions and I'll read them out, and they can answer. You can ask a question for individuals, for groups of individuals, or the whole group. And again, you can ask official questions, which will give you completely wrong answers to, and then you can go make your concern threads on forums. So.
We missed the biggest piece of news throughout the whole week. Bigger than 2.4 and bigger than the Buccaneer.
God. If you say the fucking vacation, I swear to God.
Christ Roberts in his glorious form on his birthday, aka Christmas.
AKA Christmas.
Christmas.
Confirmed.
God.
Christmas is now what is it? May 27th. May 27th is now Christmas. We should be doing celebrations. Tell you about your families you need to get off. You know.
Chris
I think
Robert
we're at-
Christmas.
Winter in the southern hemisphere.
I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised our little buddy has not seen that vacation and said anything yet. Because I know it's coming. I'm just waiting for the first news website. Oh, the maker of Star Citizen is on vacation on his birthday. How dare he?
You're spending all your money on
Slacking off.
100 million on his vacation on his private yacht.
In like Italy.
I heard
He has a real 890 on the water.
a $200,000 bottle of wine. I heard that.
I know this from 5 unknown sources, but they said they
lots
work
of
there.
scabbers.
That's the real concern thread.
Oh my God.
I talked to everyone in a Sainsbury's or a Walmart that I went into, and Star Citizen was. See, the game's not being made.
Oh God.
Slack and idle confirmed.
So much Illuminati. So much Illuminati.
I do have a question though. Have we already killed item port, or are we going to talk about that? Like, is that a dead thing?
You fill out the question on the Google form so we can. No, sorry.
Get wrecked.
No, seriously. Like, is everyone dead with item port, or do you guys want to talk about that?
I mean, I like the item port system. I will say that the item port system is directly ripped from MechWarrior Living Legends because a certain criminal
If it works,
Tracy,
who cares, right? Really.
a certain criminal Tracy built an item port system for MechWarrior Living Legends, and they're using the same concept as the base. So
Specifically, what I wanted to talk about though is going up to your ship, pulling the gun off is cool. Putting it back on again, I don't even really care that things appear. Like how else are you going to do it, right?
It's a game.
Big waiting, ship comes in or whatever. That's kind of stupid. Now they could do it with a gun. They could technically make some dude walk up to your thing like a robot and go boomf. And
That would be so fucking cool.
They don't need
see, this is it, like immersion, right? So
No. They can do that literally by saying you can only change weapons and items on guns if they're in the workshop, and then
Right.
and then they
Yeah.
just have
So Port All Star again, it's an alpha, right? We don't worry about the pad in alpha because that's fake. However, you're in your hangar and you go up to the ship and you say, just like you do now, 227. I want a 227. And some door opens up and some cart with a dude comes in. They physically attach it. I don't even care if it takes 30 or 40 seconds. I think that difference is worth the immersion, the realness, right? It's a simulator.
Well,
We all agree that.
I mean,
So-
the item system themselves are actually like you're going to be able I need to change out my shield on a cutlass. You walk up and you just rip out your shield generator. You have to pull out the shield generator, and then you can mess around with it. But like with the Drake, it's like physically put on the outside. There's no like internal components. They've talked
Right.
about that.
So the only thing is, like, how do you suppose? So that is one part of the question. The other one is how do you think they're gonna do let's say the Top Guns on the Connie? Because there's really only two things they can do. They can have it so that there's a fucking holotable again, right? That's not. Please, Lord, don't let us have that again.
Ooh, stone them.
Fucking holotable, and or that the hangar, you have a Connie and then a gurney system, like a kind of a catwalk happens up top so that you can access it. Again, you get into your ladder, you go up to the top, you start walking around the top of the ship, and then you say, I want this gun to be a whatever, and then a crane or something comes in.
I think
don't know.
more than likely we'll have something like drones that you can
Drones,
I was just
okay.
about to say that.
that will
Yeah.
fly it up and like attach it and one will like onto
So
the-
how would
It's like
you
the repair
select it then?
system.
yeah.
How would you get to it then? Like, would we still need kind of a
Like
holotable?
the drones would carry it up. They'd take it over and they'd install it for you and all that.
Control it on your Moby Glass. Like,
Yeah.
Mobiglass, right?
We've
Multiplayer
had the
stuff.
animations for this ever since the first view of Dumper's Depot with those actuators coming down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The geometries exist. It's not a question of could they do it. They're already there. It's just a
Okay.
question of setting everything up.
Yeah.
So I desperately want. So the holotable. Okay, I know how much everyone hates it. I want that as a piece of hanger flair.
I do
want
too.
that
Oh yeah, it has to stay for sure.
Yeah,
The
hanger
legacy
flair.
item.
But I also want the ability on my Moby Glass to, at a glance, change stuff really simply on my ships. Literally just tabs and just go bum, 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 bum,
Yeah,
bum,
exactly.
bum,
So
bum.
you pull it up and you got like a 3D image of the ship and you can like drag it around and change it and
I-
tap it and change
Yeah.
when you're not even there. Yeah.
maybe even simpler. Maybe just 2D. Bam.
Yeah, the Holo
Yeah.
Explorer, that website that guy made,
Yes.
that
And
thing
that's-
is perfect.
The
Perfect.
other thing, so Alaran, I think is the name of that dude. He's
Yeah.
absolutely awesome. I also want a website where I can change my loadouts. So if I'm on my phone, if I'm
oh, the app. That'd be a good idea for the app.
Yeah, a two-dimensional list of here's your ship. You choose
Right.
the ship, and it's smart enough to know what guns can and can't go on there.
If
Done.
anyone who's played MechWarrior Online, there was a great Smurfy did a great version of it where you could see the different. It wasn't official, like you couldn't like change it in game, but like it's very simple. All it was just like you had pictures of the like a generic outline of a mech, and then you could just click on the different ports and then change them out with whatever, and it would change the stats on it. You could see if it works or not. So a lot of
I'd
people
want
built
it
like
in
individual
game.
stuff. So you could do something like that.
I want it changing in game. I want a load of this is me being a spoiled gamer brat.
Yes.
A load of remote access to the game without loading up the game.
Yeah.
I want to be able to do as much as I can while
Just like
not.
There's a
Battlefield.
limit though.
Battlefield 4 has that. You just go in and change it while you're driving home.
Yeah, but you don't want that. You don't want so much. You don't want so much. Yeah, he's driving and using his phone at the same time. I don't know what state you live in, but I don't know if
While
that's
smoking
legal.
on his crack pipe.
I'm
Yeah.
Canadian. It's okay.
I don't know what province you live in, so I don't know if it's okay.
Just kidding. Don't text.
Just do blow and drive. That's what I do.
Yes, just
Wow.
off of.
That's
Just
all
some of
you
the-
think out here.
Just put
Hand the
it
phone to your.
wheel and-
Hand the phone over to your wife. Say, can you please set up my constellation? I need like a full ballistic loadout. That's when you get divorced. That's it. That's the
I will be at
fucking
my
episode, right?
I would be at my job fucking up, man. I would have that app and just be at my job like, doing my setups all fucking day. Like, you're fired.
Just doing loadouts.
I was gonna say there's a limit to that though. You don't want the ship to be the mobile applications to be like playing the game while you're not there. Like you want to be able to do things like maybe change your ship loadouts, maybe change some of your hangar flare or something like that. But you don't want something to be like, all right, so I'm going to send my ship out on this trading mission to to Stanton, and then it'll come back, and I'll make all this money.
No, no.
Yeah.
No, pre-mission setup. I like that. It's fine. But
I would want the ability to communicate to other people in the game using the same app.
Yeah. So be able to like send messages and such. Yeah.
So I could.
It's called Discord, though.
No. But I just in the same app, so I can literally just got my friends list in Star Citizen, bam, and message them from that, and just go, I do want you to do a trade mission. You can do it while I'm at work.
Or AI, or your AI could do it if you hire a crew and you can't get a hold of your friends. I think that'd be real immersive because I used to have workers on Black Desert. And they would do work for me while I'm at work, and I didn't have an app, but I would.
That might be game breaking is the problem.
Yeah.
If you start.
Well, that's just farming, right?
Well,
at that point,
unlike
you're
Black
just
Desert,
on autopilot.
But that could be a big loss too, though, because if someone's watching you do that or knows that you're doing it and sees a AI ship and you invested in that, boom, you could get that shit snatched up real quick. Like, oh, I'm sending 100,000 crates or whatever, and then you got some pirates like, oh, we got this.
No, because what you're talking about reminds me of people that pay people in Asia to farm shit on their Warcraft account, right? Okay, that's going to happen anyways. Like we just accept that that's a part of humanity, right? But I don't want it to be on autopilot so that I don't even have to think. Like I don't even have to seek out that person. I could just go done, and now I'm at work making gold or whatever, right? It doesn't. I don't think that should be a part of the game, or definitely shouldn't be lucrative. It shouldn't be as good as you doing it yourself. So.
Oh yeah, it should. No, like I said, you should get more or. Like I said, the further you go in more dangerous zones, it's going to be real risky for an AI-only crew against some real skilled pilots and their buccaneers.
Yeah.
You got your little Connie out there and about 15 buccaneers swarming your shit with bots, and you're at work freaking the fuck out.
You get an alert on your phone saying you've been raided. You're like, no, I gotta go home.
I don't think they can ever implement something like that. I don't think it would work.
It's too complicated. I think it's just too complicated, and it would have too many flaws, and people would be writing work tickets. Damn you, CIG! My autopilot ship crashed into the sun, and now I've got no money. Or it would just be too messy, right?
It might work if it was a subscription-based game, because then they could regulate those accounts more easily. Because it's buy to play, people would have loads of accounts all running different things everywhere. So and you get so many gold funds.
Yeah,
I mean, it works pretty good on Black Desert. So I don't know.
It would break
the difference between Black Desert. I think the major problem is the difference between Black Desert and Star Citizen is that Black Desert doesn't have a dynamic economy. Like the prices don't change based on supply and demand of
that is
the
true.
System. And so if you had enough people doing enough alt accounts with enough bots, then you could have what Eve. I think it happens in Eve a lot, where people will just like have an account that'll do mining on auto. Like they'll have a completely essentially an NPC running like a mining operation, and they'll be able to get a bunch of money from that. Yes, it's a little dangerous, but at the same time, it's like they can ruin economies like that.
Well, but we only control like what was it, 10% of it, and then 90%.
We can still, if you have enough concentration effort, they've said that you can affect the like local systems.
Yeah. So. Man, that would be man. You'd have to really know what you're doing with that fucking AI, man. I just don't see someone.
We're gamers. We'll break it.
We'll break it. Yeah, it's not perfect.
See, that's what the beta's for. I know if they implement, I would like to see them beta just to try if they could do it. I don't know. I think that's a way that if you get reckless with it, you'll get wrecked pretty bad.
There's thousands and thousands of incredibly intelligent people that are going to be playing this game that will break it with a hammer.
Oh yeah,
and they don't care. They will not give a shit.
Sorry, Trent, what you're saying?
I was going to say even a game that has a very simple version of it, like Neverwinter. You've got your in the crafting system. You have these NPCs that work for you, and you're like, okay, go out and gather firewood or stone or whatever, go mining, and you basically there's like a 20-minute quest thing, and there's like an 18-hour one, and of course the longer you send them out for, the more materials they come back with, but they are out of commission for that entire period of time. But they're not actually like walking around in the world looking for things. So I mean, with Star Citizen, Chris has already explained that you're going to have basically two versions of the universe. There's the version that we are actually in, and then there's the kind of high level data crunching universe aspect of going, okay, there's this many pirates over here, blah, and so I mean, it would be almost like your NPC crew would be operating on that server where they wouldn't really be in the universe proper, but they would be out somewhere, and there's a chance they might get hit by pirates, and then they get to wherever they're going, delivering stuff or picking shit up, and suddenly they don't have the materials that they were supposed to have according to the contract, and then that entire thing hits the brakes because that contract cannot be completed until the boss shows up and finishes the negotiation.
Okay, so on that though, if we're going to take Gio's suggestion of the ship that you can fly from work, let's say you were to do that, and then you were to run escort for your own ship, right? So basically now you have your own organization. You could have like 2 or 3 ships, and now you're in a Saber, and you're basically just micromanaging these ships that are flying, like a hull. So let's pick something manageable, a hull B or C, right? You have your one ship. What's preventing people from doing that then, if you give access to a full AI ship with no penalty?
It's a good question. I will say I honestly don't know.
Well, and this is why I don't think it should be allowed. Not necessarily, that's the wrong way of saying it. This is why I think it should be not advantageous to do it.
Well, especially not through an app.
Oh, fuck no. No.
Not through that.
Yeah.
No, because you could be flying your Saber and just,
But I mean, if you've got
guiding your ship.
Right. If you've gotten to a point where you've got like a company that does cargo runs, even when you're sitting at your computer, you're going to be sending NPC crews out. So you won't be with them. They may have a living, character going along with them or something, or they might not.
Yeah.
It could be running cotton from this planet to that planet, whatever.
Cotton confirmed 2.4.
Am I going to be picking it? Is that what that means, Trendy?
Oh, jeez.
Only half of it.
I'm just playing Trendy. I love Trendy.
Oh, I wish. I mean, anyway. So, I mean, wherein lies the difference between, sitting at your computer, in your factory somewhere on Sci-Fi and sending an NPC crew out to the Crowshaw system, as opposed to you running an escort mission along with them and not being on the ship, versus sitting, using an app on your phone to say, yes, go ahead and take that shipment to there, and then you're off. But you're not actually running, the thing from.
This is the kind of stuff that excites me about the game. Honestly, this is why I got excited to begin with, because I'm just like, what gall? Like, to the idea, I just kept hearing more and more about it, and it was just, yes, that's what I wanted. That's what I want to play, right? And it hasn't gotten worse. And there's always that thing of like, did they bite off too much? Are we running out of stretch goal ideas? All this other stuff. But every year we have CitizenCon, and we get something remarkable that we see, and it's like, yes, that's exactly what we were thinking it should look like, and thank God it actually does what it's supposed to. And then we play it, we get bored of it, we want something else, right? Like we're horrible people like that. But
I think to a degree is like part of the reason why we're getting bored of it is because it's so simple. Like the systems that we were wanting to see in conjunction with each other, things like transport, repair, mining, salvaging, aren't in yet. Once they're all in and they're together, you can be like, oh, I'm mining the crap out of things. Well, I'm bored of mining now. Let's go do some salvage, or let's go blow shit up. The options makes a game have fun, longevity. Whereas
maybe
like
bored wasn't the right word. Like played out. I mean, it's the same.
Yeah, it's easy to get burned out though. Like,
it starts becoming monotonous.
Yeah.
But like, so it's an alpha, and we get to play that little piece of this. Like I don't know how many hours I have in Arena Commander. It's ridiculous, but I love it. Like, it's fun, and it's even more fun now that we can play with other people. Right? Remember when you couldn't even do that? So
just NPCs, yeah. But
I mean, so that's not played out. But then, like you say, they're going to institute cargo. Let's say cargo running, which kind of we're starting to see the beginning of it, where you can go to a place and pick up something and get money for it. Right. So the next iteration is going to be to physically take that item back to a place and then get paid for it, which is cool. That's just, to me, that's the next evolution. And then as soon as cargo's in, you've got mining, salvage, all of that other stuff comes out. Then the other, like another sideline would be your medical. Like, we kind of have this impact thing right now, but when we start to get dedicated people that can play as medics and resuscitate and fix people, then that's another entire line of stuff that I'm very hopeful for, because as soon as they do those two things, the cargo, that opens up all kinds of stuff, and the medical, that opens up all kinds of other stuff. And now we can start to get the grenades and the first-person shooter aspect, and dare I say, Star Marine.
We've had it since.
Star Marine.
Stop it, Chris Roberts. That's such a It's not in the game, okay? It's not in the
In
game.
addition, you could also have. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I would just go for it.
I was going to say that we could mentioning all the other elements getting into the game and it expanding almost exponentially the level of things that we can do. I mean, once being able to actually repair our ships comes in, you're hauling ass through some system I can't think of the name of right now, and there's a micrometeor impact on one of your things, and you don't realize it until you're coming in through into the atmosphere to get ready to land somewhere, and you're like, your pilot's like, I'm picking up a little bit of drag on the port side aft thruster. I'm not sure what's going on. You get down there, you find that there's a ding on the thing, and you have to repair it. And this little shit
what's that freelance? What's that Firefly quote? Did the stabilizer just fall off my go ram ship?
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's the first thing he says.
Yeah.
That's the absolutely
Was that
first thing he
primary
says.
buffer panel?
Yeah.
Yeah. The primary buffer
No.
panel just fall off my go ram ship. Yeah, like that moment in Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Like, is that my wing? Did the wing just fall off the ship? What the heck happened to the wing?
Such a good show.
I knew there were problems with Buccaneers. Off them.
They just spontaneously explode into pieces.
To bring it back before we start the questions, to bring it back to the Buccaneer, what do you guys have you been participating in the Drake survey, and what do you think that the item X is going to be?
I have not been, only because I've been streaming and sleeping. So I will do that after the stream. But yes, I will be.
Yeah, you know what? I'm right there with you. I forgot.
Yeah.
I want a grappling hook. 'Cause it's badass, right?
So I want a boarding grappling hook.
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We have the Theta Ball tether
Yeah.
thing, which is supposed to work to pull you. So it's a sci-fi grappling hook.
I don't want the grappling hook. I
want
just want the
grappling.
hooker.
I want grappling arms from Outlaw Star. I want grapplers, so grappler ships. I want the Buccaneer to turn into a grappler ship. That's all I'm asking. Just so I can hand-to-hand combat in the universe
Geo,
Disco ball.
with ships.
You want a grappling hooker? Because we call that a face hugger.
That's what I want for my ship. That's the item X.
He wants a
Bam.
I want that.
He wants a face hugger on a ship.
Okay.
Xenomorphs confirmed. 2.6.
Don't even talk about xenomorphs. I freaking hate xenomorphs. I'm actually, honest to God, frightened when this game comes out, because they've talked about having aliens inhabit a ship that's like a derelict ship.
No.
And
So I have a
going
gun.
on and just having that moment of holding a freaking motion tracker, and this thing is running
All right,
in the
Ripley.
darkness.
No. You want to talk about being afraid of the movie Alien? My mother, in 1978, 79, when it came out, she went to see it in the theater while 6
Why?
months pregnant with my little sister. If there is any movie you don't watch about a living life growing inside you that's going to come bursting out at some point, fucking Alien.
Oh man.
Bad. It's really bad.
Oh man!
Oh man, I had nightmares.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That image just now, never. But speaking of movies, in terms of speaking with like horrible transition to Squadron 42. But Squadron 42 is getting more shots done, and one of the things that a lot of people, including myself, have been wondering is, do you think that Squadron 42 will make the 2016 release? I mean, I personally don't think so. I think there's a chance that it won't, I should say. But not necessarily a bad thing. Like, they may just need more time to test it and work out the kinks and stuff like that before they could release it.
I want to see it at CitizenCon, but man, is that ever a tough one?
Yeah, that's because CitizenCon is less than
Soon. Yeah.
less than 6 months away. It's like 5 months away now. 4 months away, I think, because we've got July, August, April. July, August, April. I can calendar well.
But last year we were shocked by the baby PU, right? I don't know. If I'm speaking for myself, I was expecting Star Marine.
Yeah,
I wasn't
no one was
expecting
the baby PU to be
baby
out.
PU. Like, wow. So that's why I'm not saying. That's why I'm saying it's not. They have hundreds of people working on this, and I know that we see a couple steps back. Okay, seriously, because even Jared said that for the Caterpillar. Like, we're showing you 3 months ago, but we've already finished. Like, whatever. So if they're doing that to stuff that they're showing us on ATV, then who's to say that they don't have functional Squadron 42? To the point where they could just drop it on us at CitizenCon and say, "Here you go, boys and girls, go play." Right? Like, have fun and leave us alone for 2 months.
Yeah,
I think that they're
Citizen
very far ahead with Squadron 42. I think they're a lot further ahead than we think. I think it's a lot simpler.
They have no choice. They have no choice. They would be not able to sustain the company if they didn't have something functional yet.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But I also think that it's significantly easier to make a single-player game than it is to make this multiplayer behemoth of a game.
so all the assets though have to be functional in both. So I do think that it's not a stretch of the imagination to think that the brunt of the effort on Squadron 42, we all know that transfers very nicely into the PU, right? So I think the reason, I'm not saying that PU's slow, because item port is very cool. All these, shopping, persistence, all this is good and it's all coming. But I do think that they're showing us like 40% of what they actually can make. And I think that's good. Like, I'm happy. I want them to shock the crap out of me at CitizenCon.
No, I am fairly sure that they're farther ahead even on Star Citizen than we see, just because there's lots of things we haven't seen in game yet. Like, they haven't finished some aspects of the game that require
grenades
before you can go in. Like, things like grenades, things like stances, things like let's say probably something to do with the cargo systems, probably more than less fleshed out. It's just a matter of trying to get everything else around it, the persistence part in. There's probably stuff with salvaging and repair mechanics they have that are done or fleshed out to a degree that they could put into the game, but they're waiting for other things to be put in. So there's lots of things that are in the game now that will be iterated upon and be better later, as well as things that are probably being worked on right now that aren't quite in the game but are waiting for other aspects to be put in so that they can get in, that are in some way, shape, or form done or close to being done. But my issue is that Squadron 42 is the first full released something that CIG is going to be doing. And if it's not a quality AAA title, if it's like a Unity, like Assassin's Creed Unity, or a Battlefield 4 launch sort of thing, where it's everyone just pans the hell out of it because it's just terrible the first launch, that could have a huge negative impact marketing wise on Star Citizen.
Yeah,
So,
you can't launch it and say, "Oh, don't worry, boys, it's still an alpha." It's the blanket's off. You're right. It has to be spot on. There can't be texture clipping or falling through floors or being ejected from a constellation just because it goes to warp.
Yeah,
it all has to be completely checked out. So on that, I agree with you 100% that they might not launch it. They might say, "Give us Squadron 42 Alpha," but not necessarily launch it. Is that even a possibility?
They don't think they're going to get any form of alpha for the Squadron 42 stuff.
They have to test it.
Not with us.
They don't have to test it externally.
No.
Yeah, they're probably going to keep most of that internal, if anything. Along with that, they could do it. I mean, honestly, a lot of people don't like it this way, but they could do it in sort of a Hitman style with like the latest Hitman, where it's like,
oh my God,
launch, but you have mission 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And we'll get mission 3, 4, and 5 in a little bit. So they know mission 1 and 2 are out and ready to go. So it's like, here you go, and they'll just add a to be continued.
So the problem with that, though, is you still have to do 90% of the game. Even if you're going to launch episode 1, right, or like 2 missions, all of it still has to work, right? So the brunt of the work is still the testing and all that stuff still has to work. And then you would think that once all of that is done and they're going to give you episode 2, 3, 4, that they're just making maps and missions at that point. But I do think, though, that it's going to be hard to do that, even if you say, okay, here's episode 1, go play. We still have to test it. Like, call me crazy, but I don't think that
have
you can
QA testers. That's just literally what the
yeah,
QA
but they
testers
don't have
do.
thousands of people like us. Like, I'm saying,
have the avocados. Like the Evocati is what they would do. If they were going to test it to someone, they would give it to the Evocati because they are under NDA, legal NDA, not to release any information, and they wouldn't have to tell anybody that they released it to the Evocati, and the Evocati would take it and they could give their feedback.
Okay, I agree 100%. But you agree with me, though, that it has to get tested, and it can't just be internal.
No, I think
It can be
internal. I mean, and the problem is that there may not be enough time for them to be able to test it internally to get it out by the end of the year. That's what I'm saying. That, like, it doesn't even matter if the assets are finished by August. They still have to test it to make sure there's no bugs in it, and that can take months, if not years.
Would we all still be happy waiting? I would rather wait and have it right, and everyone still agrees with that. That's the thing.
Oh yeah,
because I'm okay with waiting. I want it to be done like now, obviously, but I want it to be right at the same point. I would rather it be right than now.
there's 2 points that I want to bring. As someone who has worked on QA for a couple of AAA titles, there is a lot more that can be automated in testing than most people realize. You can automate a tremendous amount and just leave systems cranking through these things, running multiple variations to see where it crashes and where it doesn't. Lots of automation can be done. Second, Arkenstar said earlier, where was it? We've already waited for a while. What's a little longer? There's a limitation to how long that mentality works, and eventually it starts to break down in an almost exponential fashion. Every day that you hear something about Star Citizen, but they haven't given you anything, you get more and more bitter about it. So that logic works to a point, and then it starts breaking down. But if they have a group that's under NDA that is sort of internal testing in a sense, because they're locked into that, and the QA guys at CIG are masterclass as far as QA testing and doing weird shit that just people are like, why would you do that? It's like, because it breaks it.
Just to test it, yeah.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
so I can confirm I have met _CIG personally twice, and he is a weird class person.
He is.
So so yes, I agree that he would be the one to ask, what if you go out on this mission completely naked, flying upside down while drunk?
Torque would do that.
Would that do something? So.
Torque would do that.
I don't think they're ever going to release Squadron 42 assets as for an alpha to download to either Cartier or anyone. I mean, I think they'd be terrified that anyone would be able to grab those assets and put them on the internet somehow.
What is it?
Whoever did that would be done.
See, and this is the thing. We all know from back then, we know the infamous Lando leak, that they're months ahead. At the time when we seen that really actually made me more comfortable when I seen the leak. I said, okay, they're way ahead than what they're actually showing us. They're definitely a couple of months ahead.
I've seen some of those assets from the leak pretty recently, and a lot of those assets from the leak are stuff we've been getting right now. So it's stuff that was finished, or in an almost complete version a year ago, because that leak was a year ago.
And that gets back to my point that they could technically be very, very in advance of what we think. And I don't want to come to take that for granted. Like, oh, don't worry, boys, we're going to get Squadron 42 because we haven't seen it, and it must, but it's done, right? I don't want to get to the point where I think that, where I expect it, but it's possible. So
yeah, no, and at the same time, a lot of people are saying, I'm tired of waiting. There's also comes to a point where they're going to have to release it. I don't know if they'll release it in 2016, but I don't think any people can wait for them to release it much later than 2016.
Would make
early.
really cool
Citizen release gut.
Christmas.
And it's going to be released in 2016. That's a good gut.
Well,
Yeah, that is December.
Well, we all know that Chris's campaign space games, he knows what he's really doing with those. This is like his first MMO type thing, but as far as storyline and stuff like that, he knows what he's doing, and I don't think he would really need testers for that, because I think he's 3-4 games in with stories, so I think he's got it down packed. It's the MMO part that's going to have to be, nailed and tested and all that stuff. But I think he has the story down pretty tight.
All of the game, Squadron 42 and Star Citizen, is going to be possibly the most scrutinized game of all time so far.
Oh, yeah.
And everything has to be perfect. Literally, if one of the things is not perfect, it will be that attacked by 90% of the online media.
I hear the bitching now.
Yeah, it'll be considered a failure.
It was a bit fat.
Yeah. Yeah, like this mission was kind of boring. I only had to kill 2 people. 0 out of 10 IGN.
God.
0.
To which I will say,
It's not Call of Duty.
You are a shallow, bitchy twat, is what you are. That is exactly how it is.
Please don't say the word twat. I can't.
Gray, I love you, Gray. Woohoo!
There's no O in that word. There's no
Twitter twat. Okay, I'm done.
No, but and I'm not gonna make this joke. It's too bad. I was gonna say, Trendane knows bad games because he tested Spore.
Spore was just disappointing endgame.
Spore wasn't worse than Battle Fraud Hardline.
But
That fucking DLC that could have been on Battlefield
But
4.
using Spore as a good example in the sense that Spore had a lot of hype behind it, a lot of hype. A lot of people were looking forward to it, and then some things got changed, and when it got released, it was just panned. And there was a lot of things that changed internally for that. But that's a good example of like how quickly the media can turn on a game.
Was it-
It's called EA. That's what happened.
Yeah, no, that is what happened. EA, but
it takes of a Peter Molyneux game to me.
Yeah.
Sport. That's what I feel.
Promise the Moon crash. Yeah. Sorry, Trendane. Didn't need to be this gang up on Spore, but
It's okay.
It's one of the only games I still have a physical copy of.
yeah, I have a copy of it too. I still have my physical
Yep,
copy.
I have-
My last one is missed.
Yeah.
1,200 discs.
Holy shit.
Floppies. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have that.
Still better. Atari ET.
Oh God. No,
I
I know.
think that's a federal offense.
Damn, bro.
Might be breaking the law then.
There's actually a really interesting. There's an interesting. Wow. Damn. There's an interesting.
Is it hand? That's the way.
back.
There's an interesting documentary about that. How like the whole like ET thing in the desert. They proved that it was false, but it wasn't necessarily false. They just dumped a whole bunch of games that they had in his warehouse. Atari had in a warehouse that they couldn't sell anymore into the landfill, which included copies of ET. But that's and the documentary actually talks about like the rise and fall of Atari as well as like the whole end game where they're digging in the desert to see if it's actually out there, which was very very interesting to know about the video game industry and things like how easy it is to screw up, when you're high on the horse. So
We all know consoles are making a comeback with the PS 4.5 and the new Xbox are obviously more powerful than the GTX 1080. So
Yeah.
I played
obviously,
And the new X9.
4K gaming.
Who still has an Atari 2600? Does anyone still have a functional one?
Master System is the
Somebody-
oldest console I have still.
Because
Go ahead.
I'm having a fuck of a time trying to find a way to get it to plug into my TV because the TV's got HDMI now. Like there's got to be some kind of a box that I can do.
And
Then I'm probably gonna look
HDMI to
at
old school.
two screws for the RF antenna.
yeah, and it's gonna be Never Meet Your Heroes. Right? You're like, oh my god, I remember this is such a good game. You look at it, you're like, ugh, off. Put it back in the box because you don't want to play it. It's all blocks and shit.
I
So
have a friend that can probably make a cable for you that will do that.
really,
Yeah.
well, send it over. Just kidding. Send it over.
I tested on the Atari Jaguar. I worked for Atari for 1 week, play testing on the Atari Jaguar.
Is that a thing?
Yeah,
I don't-
it was. And it was
That was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pad, wasn't it?
I think so. I don't
Is that the thing that killed Atari?
probably
Because I've never heard of it.
because they had this thing called Kasumi Ninja. I mean, they had Syndicate, which was a port eventually,
I loved
which was
Syndicate.
awesome. It was
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
great.
Syndicate.
Was
Wait,
amazing.
Swadetrons.
Loved it.
Swadetrons, exactly.
The,
Such a good game.
but they had I tested Syndicate, Bubsy's Fractured Furry Tales, which was crazy, and then oh god, what was the last? A Kasumi Ninja, which was like their street.
I've heard of the Kasumi Ninja one.
Oh, the Scotsman, whose name was Angus. Anyway, one of his like critical attacks is to lift up the front of his kilt and a fireball shoots out, and I'm like, you need to get that checked.
Jesus Christ.
That's just
No wonder it didn't work.
Fire crotch.
I met some Scotsmen. That was not it. No.
Oh, so
Tangent.
I'm gonna go on to the questions and see if there's any good
Quick.
questions. If you guys still want to
You
have
want-
any questions, hit that Google form I just posted in the chat. Go check that out and definitely drop us a line of some kind.
You want to do the giveaway with
Yes,
it?
let me do a
Last
giveaway
hour?
as well once I get everything working because my internet's deciding to go kapoopy.
I'm just a quick one. I'm curious, is any one of you bought or going to buy a 1080?
I'm probably going to buy a 1080 because I've got a 670 currently, and so I'm like 4 years behind, and I'm get to the point where like I can't run simple games anymore, so I need to upgrade.
DOS.
I'm still pretty much okay, but I'd rather have NVIDIA because AMD drivers don't like to play nice with certain apps.
Yeah, I've had
Probably
that as well.
by the time we have people on Mars, I'll probably pick one up.
Yeah. Who knows? That couldn't be too long and far away considering we have Elon Musk.
I don't know. I think I may wait for the 1080 Ti. I don't know. I'm really debating about it. I don't know. I am gonna get a 1080 though.
It's going to be a year.
If that's your ideal, if that's your kind of way you do things, you want to wait for the next one, you're always going to be waiting. So
Yep.
I do like wait if you can, because it's always better to wait. It is, but if you're going to be like, oh, I want the TI, then by the time that comes out, 6 months time, there's going to be another one.
You can always sell it. Like you buy a 1080 now, and then before it becomes absolute garbage, like I'm thinking my 980 Ti is not going to be terribly interesting for people to pay what I think it's worth. So it might just end up being a gift. But like Monkey was saying, you have your go buy it now, use it, and then in 6 months to a year when they launch the Ti, if it's good, buy it, because you're going to waste a year of your life. And if you already have a 980 Ti, it's still significant, right? There's still an improvement in frames. And
I got 970 right now.
You'll be
Oh.
good. Like if you got a 970, you're good. Like the 1080, I mean, yes, it's a significant improvement.
You're
but-
going to pick up like 30. Okay, not at the PU, but if you play Arena Commander, I'm thinking 30 frames, easy.
Oh,
just
man,
to bite
that's real fantastic. I may have to, man.
Oh, you do.
your VR. You're playing a lot with VR on top of that, so you literally cannot have enough graphics card for that.
So I'm
I'm convinced I'm getting a 1080. That's all I
I'm
need.
going to be running a lot of custom stuff for Star Citizen. I want to run it in 4K DSR, so I'm going to be
Yeah, you need graphic card crazy.
yeah.
Alright,
And I'm going to be running loads of filters and stuff to make Star Citizen look as pretty as possible for viewers on YouTube.
I
So
have
it's
a
like,
yeah,
770.
So 770 is a good card still, though.
Yeah, that's so good. Sorry, it's better than my card. Yeah, I've got a
For
6.7.
most games.
So,
Streaming with that card.
how am I streaming with that card? Very carefully. That's how I'm streaming with that card. So, so questions. First question is from Quiquig, which is purchasable armor real protection or still cosmetic? I think it's just cosmetic right now.
Cosmetic.
It's just a matter of they have to get the new health system in, which requires then you can get the protection stuff in.
At the moment, the last time I used it, it was worse than cosmetic. It's cosmetic and you can't EVA.
No, you can EVA now.
You can
yeah,
EVA.
they fixed that,
Like
yeah.
the latest patch. So,
Yeah.
that's
So
good.
Eric Crow asks, my understanding that reputation will be influenced by our main org. What about our affiliate orgs?
Right.
I don't know. I mean, that's a question. Good question. Ask CIG. I'll give you an official answer that you can tell people. No, but yes. Like, it'll probably have less of an impact. Just like how...
If you had two orgs, though, if you had two orgs, like one was super good and super bad, then it wouldn't be kind of neat if they made you not be able to be part of those two because they're not in alliance with each other. Like, if you had two orgs and one all of a sudden went on a rampage, you would almost think that would split your allegiance right away. They'd be like, okay, this org is really bad, this is really good. Which one do you want to be part of?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you shouldn't be able to.
Friends in both.
Well, I mean, doesn't that though make sense? Like, you couldn't be part of a pirate org, which is going and raping and pillaging, and then part of the space police, right? Like you wouldn't be able to do that. So there has to be.
You can make connects with them though.
I don't think there's going to be an official pirate org, as in...
No, but you know what I mean.
No, well, that has to be done on an individual basis. So you might be able to, it might influence the way people talk to you, it might influence your reputation with other people. But I can't see how they can prevent you from being part of someone that's in kind of like doing dodgy-ish activities, not complete criminals, but also working for the police.
I think what's going to happen eventually is that there may be an organization that gets exposed as being more of a dodgy organization than they were before, and because of some actions that the people do. And just like today, in reality, if you're part of like the local food bank, but you're also friends with like, you go to like every Thursday to the like poker game at the local syndicate, headquarters. If you get exposed, if that syndicate gets exposed that you're going to on that Thursday to that, you're going to get a reputation about it.
You're implicated.
You're
right.
implicated. So
Yeah.
you may not be. It may not be like, oh, you're a member of the syndicate, but you're going to get a knock on the front door from the FBI being like, hey, we need to talk to you for a bit. So, like, I think it'll probably be diminishing returns in terms of affiliates versus main, and I don't think affiliates will have as much of a impact on the reputation of the mains as possible. So I don't think it will necessarily be 100%. Yes, it'll impact you, but I don't want to say 100% no, it won't have any impact whatsoever. It may be shades of gray, somewhere in between. So
I'm a test affiliate, baby. Woohoo!
Trending.
When the orgs first came out, like a year and a half, 2 years ago, Wasn't there some discussion that you could be, that this was your primary, and that any of your sub affiliate organizations, some of them you could actually hide the fact that you were affiliated with them?
You can now. You can do that anyways.
Right. So in that case, I would suspect that your primary you can't hide, but if you were, if this is your affiliate and you keep it hidden, then people wouldn't know that you were in both. But once it's revealed, then yes, you would probably almost certainly take a reputation hit, I would expect. Or
you can just do what most people are planning on doing, and that's running a second character, right? Yeah. A person who's super dodgy. So, I mean, this is not answering the question. I think that may have already happened, but I know that like even STL Youngblood came out of the closet and told everyone's like, this is my pirate character and this is my other character. And I mean, it makes sense. A lot of people
everyone have two characters. Like,
that's what I'm doing. I got an asshole account. I got my goody boy account.
Yeah. Right. Because you want to play, you want to test it all out, right? You don't just want to just do mining or just do whatever. You want to explore.
Both asshole accounts.
Yeah, I'm doing all trolling on that one, man.
By the way, I saw your comment over there, Gio. God damn it. No puns.
So the next question is, what do you guys think of the Carrick rumblings? Also, Matt Sherman talking openly about new mechanic feature. Thanks. You talking about the reverse the verse? I kind of remember reverse the verse. I was paying sort of attention to it.
I haven't watched this week's stuff yet.
I remember he was talking about something in there, so you may have to. This is from Steve the Madman, Stevie Madman. So
what's wrong with the carrot? The carrot's rumbling.
Oh no!
Well, I think what it is the landing gear hatch isn't quite closed all the way.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
It's the primary buffer power panel keeps falling off the ship. That's right. The problem. No, it's I think it's that they're working on it still. I remember them talking about the Carrick and him saying that. Talking about something specific, and then he said something about a mechanic. I remember that, but I don't remember exactly what the mechanic was. So you may have to read it. We'll come back to that if someone in chat can tell us exactly what happened, because I've been focused on other things. Stevie, there you are. Tell us please what it was.
I know I can't wait because I have one, and that's going to be an amazing ship.
Human Evil asks, how salty are you guys over the delay of No Man's Sky? Last time I checked, it was 3 days that they delayed it.
No, it's delayed until August.
They delayed until August finally?
Yeah.
And called it.
Yeah. I'm actually pretty shitty about it.
Go ahead, Joe. Soapbox, go.
But I have Overwatch to hold me over, luckily, but but this game is going to be really overhyped. I think it's about to get to that point. If it doesn't deliver, it is going to get crucified pretty hard. I can tell you that now.
Deliver because I spent it's an indie game that I had to spend like 50 quid on.
Yeah.
The price of that game was so high.
See, that's the thing is that people think
I bought the special edition. By the way,
it's being marketed as a AAA title essentially, but it's an indie game. There's no doubt about it that it's an indie game. It's really not a AAA. It's just a AA title. I don't know if they even have a AA, single A, the ratings or whatever. But it's
I'm really interested what Trent's going to say because he's really got the most pondering look I've ever seen someone have ever.
You guys know it's summer, right? Summer.
Yeah.
Sun outside?
Yeah.
What's the sun?
I don't know what that is until I go to work.
Oh, I guess what I'm saying is like I don't necessarily stop caring about video games, but I don't get I get really excited in the winter, right? Because winter, I'm in Canada. You don't want to go outside.
Is it like 90% winter though when you're in Canada?
He's basically calling us loser and nerds that stay in the house.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I think that's what I'm getting from that.
I'm just saying, don't be too upset about it. Why? If it comes out in August, that's just closer to winter.
Why are you so mad about video games?
Why are you so mad? Yeah, exactly. It's just a video game. No, seriously, I can understand.
Go outside, you fucking nerds.
You expect it to be a particular time, and it comes out, you get all pumped and hyped for it. It's a fucking video game.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is that a lot of people get upset about it because they say, hey, it's going to be released at this date, and then it's like literally last minute because it was supposed to be released about this time at the end of next month. They said,
Yeah,
"Oh,
they were
it's gonna be
probably
delayed."
hoping they could meet the deadline, and then they realized that they couldn't, and then
Which then puts a lot of pressure because there's a lot of people who have negative or very shifty. They're like, I don't know about this
Okay.
game. I really
yeah,
have no
I
idea."
can see that. I can totally see that.
This is where it's starting to get blurry to me because every time I see a gameplay demo, it looks like it never changes.
Yeah.
It's look like I'm seeing the same stuff. Like, what the hell are y'all doing? It's not like Star Citizen. We're seeing like big changes, better graphics and physics. It's like
The lighting changes in Star Citizen all the time, let alone, but with them, it's just like the same lighting, same graphics. There doesn't seem to be much gameplay.
Same type of gameplay. Oh, there goes a ship and animal.
That's only because
Starfarer.
No, it's only because we're analysing it so heavily. We're looking at those details.
Yeah.
We're noticing them a lot more.
And we're seeing them a lot more often because it's basically open development. If this was, something like Spore, you would be like, holy shit, because you wouldn't have seen anything about it in 6 months.
Yeah.
Well, if say I seen Star Citizen last year compared to like now, I was like, oh shit, I actually seen a difference. Look back at some of the old videos from No Man's Sky, and then look now, you're gonna see like, what's going on? Like, what are you guys working so hard on?
Okay, now this is where you have to deal with video game marketing. A lot of times, companies will specifically have an engineer set aside that is going to build a marketing video, one that has unbelievably rich textures, where everything and it's
Watch Dogs?
built.
Yeah.
Oh.
Built specifically.
Watch Downgrade?
It's nothing like that when the guys are testing it, back in the trenches or anything. Nothing like it at all. But the marketing videos that go out are pristine.
Mint. Yeah.
They're also, basically kind of dioramas. If you were to pull back, you'd see like these cardboard stand-ups and shit. It's like, oh fuck, none of. I mean, you got to be really, really careful with that kind of thinking. Also, with regard to suddenly things getting pushed back, I mean, we've seen that happen with No Man's Sky just this last week. Same thing. It's like everybody's like, okay, here it comes. What do you mean it's delayed? It's like you were about to release it. What the hell?
That's what we're talking about. Specifically, we're talking about No Man's Sky. We're not talking about Star Citizen. Like
We're
with Star
talking
Citizen,
about
I
Star
think
Citizen show.
we are. We got on a rant because someone asked a question about No Man's Sky. This is the reason why.
Yeah, well, if I didn't see change in Star Citizen, and it's like, okay, what the fuck you guys taking? If I'm actually seeing change in Star Citizen, so I'm cool with that. But when I don't see shit changing, like, oh, we got to delay and do this, then that's when the question's going like, okay, what is going on? We need a little more clarification.
People just want to get on the delay and rage train a lot of the time. Like the Overwatch servers were down for 15 minutes at game launch.
Yeah, I remember seeing the shitstorm on Twitter. It's like the
Nothing.
15 minutes? Fuck you, SimCity.
yeah, SimCity, which was down for a day,
I
wasn't
was
it?
working at EA when that
Sim
happened.
shitty.
All right, next question's also from Human Evil. How are you
What did I-
guys? How are you guys going to be? Will you guys be going to the CIG party when Squadron 42 goes live?
Oh,
Next question.
Skip right over that.
I feel
That's not for years.
That's like the gaming Vietnam kind of. You weren't there, man. You weren't there.
I was in the trenches with
I
the
was
bugs.
there, man. So Super Blast asks, how should the mission rewards for escort pilots who put one of their 3 lives and their ships in the line for every job compare to mostly non-risky jobs like hauling and science?
It'll depend on-
Hauling could be really risky, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with
Also,
science.
I don't know that science. Well, science could be, but hauling could be really risky because the pirates are. That's the main thing pirates are going to look for. They're going to steal your booty.
Explosive cargo.
Yes.
Explosive cargo.
Well,
No, it's going to be your paid. You have to be paid by the person you're escorting, right? So if you get a shitty contract and you're going to expend one of your lives defending the cargo, then you could technically not be that very loyal to that guy. You might be like, 17 Van Duel, screw this, I'm out of here because you're only paying me $50,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you really have to
choice to
negotiate you have to weigh the odds. You have to say, at what point, what's your threshold, right? When do you say, no, I'm loyal to you because you're giving me 10,000 credits instead of 1? I don't know. It's just normal economics. It's like a mercenary, right?
Sorry.
No.
I was just going to say, if you don't want to be fighting in a risky kind of like escort environment, just be better at the game.
Just get
Don't
good,
suck.
son.
Just
Get
don't
good,
suck
son.
so much.
what I was going to say is when I was in the army, there was one. Since I was a medic, one of the problems is that when somebody cries out medic, it's like you don't go over there because
that's where people are getting shot at.
Yeah, you have now identified who the medic is. And the medic, you shoot to kill. Every other soldier, you shoot to wound because it takes 2 men to carry one wounded guy. But medics, you obliterate them. Now, the same thing could happen, and you would need to pay attention to this in your contract because if a pirate crew shows up, they just need to disable the escorts. But the cargo ship. It's like, as long as you can't shoot back at me, you are not my problem. And so you focus on the cargo ship at that point. But, you may not necessarily, unless it's a particularly asshole-ish geo pirate.
Wow. Shots fired.
Oh! I see how it is.
I will be operating out of Sci-fi, by the way, in the Centauri system.
No, it really comes down to the contract. It really comes down to, are you willing to risk your life for X number? Because we're all mercenaries, right? Especially if you're part of an org. Like, let's say I'm part of, Monkey's org, and I know that that's my cargo. That's my guy. I need to protect him. Then I'll have more vested interest in protecting him than if it's just some pleb that I met at what's that info board? Where you just go get a job well, right? Job well.
Oh,
right. So I will pay you $50 to escort my ship. You're like, yeah, sure, sounds cool. Oh no, I'm out of here. Screw this shit. I don't care, right?
At the same time, there's also a difference between money and reputation. Because if you have a reputation as being a good escort, you might get bigger contracts, better contracts, with better paying money.
Better money,
even if you risk your life.
That totally makes sense. And that's
money.
Again where the loyalty. When is it important? Is the life more important to you than your reputation?
Yeah.
So this is cool because it actually throws a bunch of great game mechanic out there. But no offense, I really do still think it comes down to the original question was, where does the loyalty lie, and where do you risk your life for what? And it really comes down to money. Like Cheddar has to be,
again, it depends. Some people risk their lives for honor and glory or whatever, and some people risk their lives for reputation because it's their reputation on the line.
So let's call them both commodities. Let's call them both commodities.
I would say that the two things that you have to consider in dealing with these things as an escort is that your job is the easiest job out of everyone when nothing goes wrong. And not saying that something can always go wrong, but escorting a cargo ship when there's no pirates that attack you, you just made $50 doing nothing but fuel, but traveling from point A to point B. Whatever. So long as it covers your fuel costs or over your fuel costs, then you're making tons and tons of money. So, and I'm guarantee you that it won't be high-packed action, but I would say spitballing completely not official, so you feel free to take it as completely official, is that we'll probably get 1 out of every 3 will be combat-oriented, or will be some serious conflict of some kind. It won't be like freaking Final Fantasy where it's like every 5 steps suddenly a random encounter happens. But
so the interesting thing on that is
it also depends on where you're going. So like the more complicated the less policed the area, the higher the chance you're going to encounter somebody or encounter pirates. So
an interesting thing I thought about that was the money. You can get the money, no problem, but the reputation, that's actually going to be the harder thing to get because it's based on how that person perceived you. Like the person's going to pay you regardless.
The rating system,
the rating system is really, I guess, I take it back. The rating system is more important than the money at that point because it's the one that's harder to do. It's the one that's harder to get.
Especially to get it right.
Well, because
fuck my Yelp score, bro.
Yeah, no, but they've even talked about it. It's kind of like the reputation system with like individual players between players is going to be based on kind of like a almost like a Yelp or a
Reddit.
How long do you think it's going to be before someone sues someone IRL because they gave them a bad reputation?
Oh God!
Fuck my shit, bro.
April 22nd next week.
Yeah.
Took me a year to get the reputation. It's like worse than eBay.
Yeah.
Or it could get abused. Say a big org, and the leader's like, "Oh yeah, okay, go on there, give me a good rating, and so I could just fuck over anybody." See,
yeah. See, that's the problem.
So you need to separate, like, okay, the members gave him
real rating versus fake rating.
Yeah, versus okay, people who are not even associated with him, so they need to have like a 2-tier system because then
it's glass all over again. Oh no.
I got to see that getting abused.
Again, that's more focused on cargo hauling. You could also have escorts on exploration missions.
Oh,
You're not going to
insane.
be back for a long time.
Yeah,
So
you're
that's gonna be
gone.
some money.
If at all, so what good is the money going to do you if you don't make it back? So reputation could be much more important. Maybe
Yeah.
you're out escorting and you happen to be the one that finds a new jump point.
Yep.
Because you're out on an extended patrol and you're like, oh shit, what the hell is this?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Find it, you get to name it. I mean, reputation is still a very valid.
Yeah, you don't go
Very.
back to the main ship you're escorting. Just make it back for UE space and send a bot out. It's like, what jump point are you guys talking about? I don't know anything about this.
so yeah, no. So there's definitely some different balance that they've even been talking about here in the last couple of months about how the money would be made by people who are doing more combat oriented that aren't physically doing like, hey, go out and blow up this pirate base sort of thing. So next question is from Arkanstar, aka Captain Badger. Yeah, Captain Badger.
The pause written in there. It's like
Well, it's
underscore.
It's Arkanstar, and then it's like brackets, and it says Captain Bat, and then it was cut off, so I had to like extend it to say Badger. It's like, okay. So will ships be getting more mass, as in will they feel heavier at some point? Probably.
Instead of more ass.
Yeah, more ass, more ass effect. Yeah.
No, with the
we
cargo,
need that.
Yes,
with the cargo,
more
your
base.
freelancer is going to handle worse. That's been confirmed.
Yeah.
They're refactoring the mass for all ships as
Yep.
at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm aware.
and it'll happen probably several times before release, just because they want to get it right once they have more ships.
There will be a legitimate reason to jettison cargo if you're under attack.
Mm-hmm.
So
You
Makes
can
sense.
either throw out the money or throw out your partner into deep space to lighten the
You're
load.
real
monkey
Professor
in
Ryan.
space.
You were going to get.
You're
You
going
have to
out.
I got a question. If that was a situation with you and Tren, Monkey, who would go out there airlock first?
What do you mean?
Shit.
You two were mining, because I know you two are the miners of the.
I mean, it wouldn't have got to the stage where we would be having the conversation. I would have disabled his engines.
Flush.
I'm not a risk taker like that. I'll go, I just need to run faster than you. So, yeah. Sorry.
Buddy fucking confirmed 2.6.
Can we not phrase it that way?
Okay.
Because I was just about to
Yeah.
say, I don't know, I can hold my breath for a really long time.
Yeah, my bullshit filter does not exist.
Oh, thanks for the host there, WTF. Jesus.
Be like a WTF.
And that's
WTF for
when
life.
it shows up. Great.
Life.
Live. Piracy. Speaking of piracy,
Yeah, we were speaking dirty pirates, and one pops up. The most infamous pirates, Mr. Source.
The Dread Pirate Source. Fastcard asks, are you looking forward to the Steam summer sale in a few weeks? My wallet isn't.
I love the little mini games they do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm really excited to see what they're going to do. The last one they did, the little monster cookie clicker thing. I mean, I got really into with groups of people on Reddit and stuff. We were trying to join the most successful rooms, trying to break it. I love that sort of shit. Stuff that's games that you can only play for a limited time, which are breakable, that have high scores. I love the idea of that, because it's just a load of people trying to write scripts. It's a load of people trying to break stuff. Love it.
I like the summer sale, and only in that it makes my giveaways really easy in the future, because it's just like, I can get 700 games for 2 cents. They all are sort of decent. They're just 6 years old.
I need to get rid of them before they go stale.
Yeah, exactly. So
we need a Star Citizen summer sale, so I could buy.
well, here's another good question. Actually, thinking about Steam, do you guys think that Star Citizen will ever end up on Steam?
No,
Nope.
No.
not unless they absolutely need to, because Steam takes their cut, and they don't want them taking their
it'll go on Ubisoft.
I'm going to
Oh
say
yeah,
something.
Ubisoft mode.
I also think it won't end up on Steam. Lol.
You think it might end up on Steam?
Nah, it won't. Will it? Of course it
There's
won't.
no reason. There's no need for it to be
the
on
only
Steam.
reason why I would say it would go on Steam is that there are plenty of gamers who might be interested in Star Citizen who would never find Star Citizen without it being on Steam, because it's happened to things like Elite. It happened to games like MechWarrior Online. It's just one of those things where if you release a game outside of, like, Kerbal Space Program too,
They must be idiots, because how hard is it to Google some shit?
Well, no,
you know?
some people don't know what game they want until they see it. Like that's the kind of thing. Like they may not even know about Star Citizen. It comes up and seems like, what the fuck is Star Citizen? They look
When
it up
there's a-
and then
People
You'll
ready to
literally-
know it's going to get press.
It will be looked at really simply. It will be they'll look at does the money we have to pay to Steam outweigh the amount of money we can make by not going to them. So if they're going to make more money by advertising through Steam, by getting more people in, then they'll do that.
Fastcart,
If it doesn't, then they won't.
Fastcart, you shut your whore mouth.
I saw what he said. That was wrong. That was
Oh, Mr. Fast Card, I see what you did there.
I don't think it needs to go to
hey,
Steam
you-
to get publicity though. There's no. I think that this game is nobody knows about it now because it's just an alpha.
yeah.
When it goes, it's gonna go. I'm not going to say it's like the next Call of Duty, but people are going to be aware of it. And I don't think if those people that want it are going to seek it out, whether it's on Steam or not. I don't think
A lot of people won't know about it. There are still going to be tens of thousands,
word of
hundreds
mouth.
millions,
Word of mouth.
billions of people who will never heard about this game. Yeah.
Word of mouth was that powerful a thing, and it is quite powerful. Then no game would be advertised on Steam that was any good, because obviously they have to pay money to Steam.
Definitely not
It
the time.
depends
though.
on. Well,
We
we
need
gave
it now.
them. We as the fans gave them more leverage than most indie games. I mean, this is the most highly crowdfunded project.
It's not
ever.
an indie game anymore. Like anyone who
But
says it's an
I
indie
think I would
game
almost
is
be
not in.
offended if it went to Steam because it's like, why did I bother? If you're going to go to Steam anyways,
I think
right?
maybe down the
Yeah.
line, like for instance,
Down the line.
maybe not right now, but like when the game,
No,
like how Elite
polished
Dangerous,
finished game,
Like,
just
A couple
Steam.
of years
Sure.
yeah, like
after long.
like Elite Dangerous went to Steam well after its launch. Like it hit 1.0, and then I think 6 months later it went on to Steam. So a good example.
That's a good
That's
idea.
not-
Squadron 42. Now, I think if the campaign went on there, I'd be cool. But I think they need to keep the MMO stuff on their end.
So
It's all or nothing. Either it's fully on Steam or it's not. I don't. Yes, they're two different games, but I don't see them. I still don't see them as two different games because in my brain, I still think that anyone who's going to buy Squadron 42 would be ridiculous to not actually pursue the persistent universe. I think that it's just marketing. I actually think that if you play Squadron 42, you will go buy it because you liked it so much.
There's a lot of
Unless they-
people. There's a lot of people that are just into single player games or just multiplayer
yes,
games.
I mean the ridiculous longevity of games like Skyrim and Witcher 3 and or just the Witcher franchise in general, Mass Effect. Like people still go back and play Mass Effect, the entire freaking trilogy, just because they can. And
I think though the learning curve on Star Citizen is just the problem is that Wing Commander, if you were to take it, it's an easy to play game. Like there's not very much you need to know. I'm sorry, Squadron 42. I think it's going to be as complex as learning what we're playing now and some. Like there's so many little nuances.
People love
that-
complex games. Like look at Dark
I
Souls.
know, but if you're going to bother to put in the time to learn it as a single player, I don't understand why you would stop there. And this is just me, right? I get it.
I don't think it's going to be that complex. I don't think Star Citizen or Squadron 42 are actually going to be that complex. I think the depth of complexity is there and available. I don't think it's necessary to play it.
So, Board, you're saying something like how Blizzard does their games in the sense that, on the surface, it's pretty simple to pick up, but to master it over time,
Universally
it's
marketable.
difficult.
Yeah.
Difficult.
Okay.
To be honest, I think to an extent, at least small extent, Wing Commander's the same. It is simple, but there's a lot of depth there. And I mean, games have got a lot more complicated over the years, and people do crave complexity because, well, it normally breeds awesome gameplay. But I don't necessarily feel that it's going to be super complicated Star Citizen. I do think it's going to appeal to a mass market. I do think it's going to be pretty simple to do the basic stuff. But when you're starting to do stuff complex, that's going to save your life in like a huge battle where you're outnumbered and stuff, yeah, that's going to take skill. That's going to take a lot of skill. And I think there's going to be a huge learning curve there.
With regard to having Squadron 42 on Steam but Star Citizen not on Steam, you could effectively draw the same parallel to Skyrim versus Elder Scrolls Online. Because Skyrim is very much on Steam. It is very much a single player game, but Elder Scrolls is not. It exists as its own entity off of Steam. But and both of those are fairly successful, I would say. I mean, Skyrim definitely,
Yeah. So I mean, I think it would be very reasonable to put Squadron 42 on Steam maybe next year, next summer. You know, if it's released this year, putting it on Steam next summer would A, increase the market, B, people would be like, wow, this is really cool, and then they'll see it's linked to Star Citizen. What's Star Citizen? Looking it up, see, oh, it's the MMO version of this using the same tech. Maybe I should look this up. So
there's already a possibility of it going on consoles. The Squadron 42.
They've even talked about being able to possibly, once it's been released, be able to dumb it down to console level.
Why?
Wait, what?
I'm just kidding. Why?
Money.
Yeah, well, I know that. Money. As much as I hate
money for
consoles,
Star Citizen
that is
development.
more money. It'll be more for us.
I mean, like, look at how many polygons it has.
It's like a
You shouldn't
shit
be able to
version,
see
but
polygons, right? You shouldn't be able to see poly count.
It's gonna be. They're
I'm
gonna have
just
to dumb it
kidding.
down like a lot.
Well, and someone is going to ask when they see it on Steam, is there going to be like, console dependency? Can I play with somebody that's on PS4? It's a single player game, you dumb shit. It's,
Jesus.
Like, well, hey, guys,
You're not saying this from experience, are you, Trendane?
no.
Thanks for the question, Fast Cart.
look, a lot of people.
My message alert now. Thanks, Trent.
A lot of people are surprised. No, they did say it's possible to be on console because I didn't pull it out my ass. Chris said it.
Yeah. They've said it on Reverse the Verse. They've said it on
a few times.
A few times. He said
the console comes up in enough power to match a PC, so they don't have.
He said that they could possibly put Squadron 42 on a PS4. Is what he said. It's a direct quote from about 3 years ago.
Yeah, but it's going to be like I said. He said they're going to have to dumb it down.
They'd have to dumb it down, and it would have to take some significant work on the game.
100.
I mean, look at Battlefront.
PlayStation.
Battle Fraud looked pretty amazing on their the Star Wars Battle Fraud. I mean, I was pretty impressed with that on consoles, how that looked. So
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they could tweak some stuff and make it look good. I don't know.
But I mean, there's no reason why you can't do it. You just need to put it on the lowest settings, essentially force it on the lowest settings.
And Crytek, like Crysis, is a console
scalable.
port.
It's scalable for the console
I
for
can't
sure.
believe we're talking about scale.
I don't want it.
Yeah, all this
listen,
peasant talk, I'm starting to itch.
All of this stuff doesn't matter right now because it's not going to the consoles until it reaches the PC Master Race. Okay,
Yeah.
and once we are done with it, we can give it to the scraps, to the peasants.
Yeah.
The peasants
Oh yeah,
can-
we're getting it first. It'll be like 2 or 3 years down the line for a console, so you guys don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Pandering to the PC crowd, but they're going to get the peasant scraps as they should, and then we're going to get more money. They're going to get more money for us to enjoy more content.
Do the right version, the right way around it, where you go to PC first, then to the consoles. That way,
Yes.
PIG, please don't do a sloppy console port.
No,
Please
Jesus,
don't.
no.
Sorry. Let me rephrase that. Don't do a console port because they're so often going to be sloppy as fuck. I'm really sorry. They almost always are. This game isn't. Don't listen to any of these clowns. I'm not sure what's going on.
Have you seen Ark? Oh my God! Talk about peasant version on the Xbox One. Oh
We
man.
have an official request to move on.
Okay, we're moving on. Moving on. Okay. So the next question is from not GHG. Was that a Commodore 64 the noob held up?
No, VIC 20.
VIC 20.
Even older and more plebish.
The next question is from Fastcart. All right, we're gonna skip that one because it has nothing to do with Star Citizen.
Get wrecked.
Screw your fast card.
Sorry, Fastcart. It's about No Man's Sky, and we've talked about No Man's Sky, sort of thing. So,
Not going to see it anyway, so it's fine.
Captain Badger asks, how will communications in game work? Will they be preferable to Discord or TeamSpeak? It depends. I think most people are going to go with Discord when you're in a ship, but communicating to a completely random ship, you don't know who they are.
Yeah, Uhura, hailing frequencies, like that kind of stuff. It would be kind of cool. And again, adding to the immersion, right? You actually have to find a guy and send a hail to him and work it out. It could be text, like chat back and forth, or it could be actual VoIP. But again, this is a big problem with people who have bandwidth, people who don't have bandwidth, because now I'm trying to run Discord and stream snipe twerk and play the game. And you know what I mean? It really depends on the technology at the time. But I mean, obviously, sky's the limit. And yeah, I think that personally, that would be awesome.
There's another issue there as well, and it's PvP. So some people are going to want to talk, some people are going to want to communicate, and other people, while people are trying to communicate and work out how voice chat works and type to each other, the other person's going to go, that guy looks like he's typing. I've just got a buccaneer.
Let's destroy his ass.
Bang,
Right,
bang.
yeah. Yeah.
I'll type to him to see if he's got voice comms.
And you'll learn that lesson once. You'll be typing, and someone will come and blow you up, and that'll be over. No more typing, no more talking, just blowing.
Someone's gonna make a macro about. Sorry, dude. Do not have voice.
Did not work.
You have. Do not have voice. Please text, and they'll sit there and start typing, and then boom, that guy's dead. Yeah.
Or it's going to be somebody that's always responding in a role play fashion. They're going to be like, die, Trend, and shoot him.
We're talking about Trend 93, of course, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Alrighty. So the next question is from the Knight Rider. This is the last question we've had, and I think it'll probably be the last question for the night, which is the new Corvette. What are cast members hoping for this ship? Something. Go ahead.
Sorry, after you.
What's the size of a Corvette first? Where does it sit in the size?
100 meters, wasn't it?
It's 150 meters, I think. It's
That's
smaller.
tiny.
It's smaller than the they're small ships. They're small capital ships.
So like a
They're
Caterpillar size?
They're smaller, a little bigger than a Caterpillar. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Bigger than a Caterpillar, smaller than an Idris.
And normally like lots of guns and shit?
Lots and lots of guns.
Oh yeah, this thing's
Look
got
at
a firehouse. This thing's got a man. People got a fear coming to this thing. Like if you don't come correct at this thing, like people need to look at it like, okay, 5 ships ain't gonna be able to take this down. We need a little more.
Yeah, no. The Corvette has always kind of spun as a patrol ship. It's like a ship that's designed to go out on long range patrols with maybe a couple of escort fighters, or heavier, smaller but heavier ships like the Redeemer or Retaliators or something like that, to go on the fringes of space, where you don't want to send an entire fucking frigate, but you don't want to have nobody there. So it's just enough firepower to scare the locals. The gunship of sort of thing.
Currently, it's pegged at 100 to 110 meters in length.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's about the size of a Caterpillar, or maybe a little.
So would a Retaliator's a bomber, I get that, but if you were to repurpose a Tally and make not necessarily more turrets but more forward-firing guns, would that qualify? Would that
Probably
be
not. I mean,
No?
We're
Okay.
talking like the last Corvette had a spinal mounted rail gun,
Ooh,
which was
okay.
So
the Idris, right?
yeah, the Idris, and then it got moved up to being a frigate, and so I think the Idris was originally only 100 to 150 meters, wasn't it?
Yeah, then they got their hands on it and they went, oh, we need this thing bigger. So
Bloatware. Okay, so sorry for taking us off topic.
My hope for the Corvette currently is that they'll decide that remake it as a Drake Corvette.
Mm-hmm.
But for the Polaris, I just want something that's a lot easier to manageable than an Idris would be.
Something like only 5 people could run, sort of thing, or you could sort of solo.
No, you shouldn't be able to solo a capital ship.
Okay. I mean, at 100 meters, it's like a freaking Caterpillar. I mean, it's not that big. We're not talking
Yeah,
about.
but you shouldn't be able to
ship.
solo a Caterpillar either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You won't. Like I even said that was the joke that people gave me shit for, is that if you have a Caterpillar, you don't have friends, melt it, because you won't be able to solo, right?
They want to ride around with their AI.
I know everyone's on the AI board, and I'm sorry.
They're gonna be disappointed,
You
man.
should not be able to manage that ship with AI. It shouldn't be you and a bunch of toons flying around space in your capital ship, sub-capital ship.
Yeah. I mean, the forms will go crazy though. If they
Sorry
start-
forms.
I don't think you should be able to fly a capital ship, so Corvette and larger warships, with one person and AI crew.
Not effective.
It would have to be done so well. If they did do that, it would have to be done perfectly. And
Yeah. Well, like I said, they got to keep them reasonable, but they shouldn't be like if you have a AI crew versus an all-player crew, you should get like wrecked to Kingdom Come. I mean, you got to be out of there, man.
Okay,
There's
so
no way
the actual question, I guess, I want an Aegis Corvette. I'm sorry, I love that company, and nah, Drake
Aegis
is
makes
I do too.
Aegis
pirate
makes the,
Corvette.
And
Aegis,
enough shit.
Aegis makes the Idris.
I want some more origin stuff.
Yeah, but
too,
it's
man.
not a Corvette.
But
We just said it's not a Corvette.
But the Corvette. I mean, it's a pirate Corvette. Corvette pirate. How many pirate ships per Corvette? Lots
they got
of
the-
them.
They got
They
the
got the-
Idris and the Javelin, don't they?
Yeah, the Javelin I think is also Aegis. It may
No,
be
they've got the
maybe
Cutlass.
and-
That's good enough.
But I don't
Cutlass
know.
is fine. I don't want WCFosaurus with a death missile. Like, I don't want him flying around space, smashing
Listen,
people.
Saurus probably has an Aurora, so he could probably use it as a death missile anyway, because everyone knows that thing's a fucking death missile.
In any ship out there is a death missile. I do that specifically.
That is Gracchus's thing. That is Gracchus's thing, is the death missile ship.
Okay, so everyone wants a Drake Corvette.
No.
Is that no? Okay,
No.
so what do we want?
Well, it's already been chosen.
No more
It's an
Aegis. As
RSI.
much as I love Aegis, is my favorite too, number 5. But there's way too many damn Aegis ships. We got to get Origin needs some more ships.
Yes.
RSI could use a few more ships.
That don't suck.
Yeah, and because Misk has a lot of ships too. Matter of fact, now I think about
This
it.
has a ton of ships.
Yeah, but Misk
between
shouldn't be making
RSI and
Corvettes.
And
I mean,
Drake.
hell, consider technically the Gemini is an Aegis ship too.
Part of it.
Yeah.
Misk shouldn't be making
yes.
warships. That's just my take on it. So Drake, yes, I could see a Drake Corvette. That would be cool.
Origin could
And-
do it too, but I don't know if Origin would. That's the thing, because Origin's a luxury ship manufacturer. It's like why would Mercedes? Well, no, that's a bad example.
So what about an
Mercedes did make
upgummed version of
fighters
the
for-
890? An 890 is about the right size.
Yeah.
You just put shit tons of guns on it. Wouldn't that be
God,
kind of
890 with
badass?
guns on there.
I know.
It's already kind of a
Fucking
super
party
strong
with
sword
guns on
sword,
it.
But
So there, CIG, take notes. We want an 890 with guns on it.
Woohoo!
As an explorer,
You know, I forgot about the
2.7.
Genesis. The Genesis is going to have some guns on it too. They got a variant for that coming. I forgot about that. Who is Genesis with?
That's its own company.
Okay, yeah, Crusader. Yeah, I forgot that. That's going to be like a little gunboat thing too.
Soyentag nailed it. As an explorer, I don't want I don't care about a Corvette at all, but I would love to see what Consolidated Outland could do with one.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I didn't even
It's
think
like,
about that.
I wanted to talk about that. So Consolidated Outland do need some more ships. They just got the Mustang.
And they look cool.
Well, the
Like, it's a
Mustang-
cool looking
I
ship.
mean, essentially, like the Consolidated Outland is like Tesla. It's like essentially it's their first entry into the universe. So I wouldn't expect them to necessarily have more ships so quickly, but maybe sometime down the line. Like they've already confirmed that the Polaris Corvette, which is I think is still a working title. It's not the actual name. The Polaris Corvette is RSI, so it's going to be an RSI ship. Like the
AMD,
Bengal is an
please
RSI
sponsor us
ship.
more, please.
AMD ship, AMD Corvette.
I think Polaris is a real vehicle in real life too, ain't it?
Yes, it's a Polaris. There's a Polaris submarine.
Snowmobile.
There's Polaris.
It's a snowmobile. I thought it was
snowmobiles.
like one of those
There's a
little
plane.
parts.
They make 4-wheel drive and snowmobiles.
We've got the new AMD Corvette. The Nvidia sucks.
Shots fired.
Suck it green.
No, someone made a AMD. What it said? They said anal molested drivers or some shit like that. I was dying when I seen that shit.
See, the thing about that is that the AMD Corvette has to have heat cannons of some kind so that it can transfer all of its internal heat towards its enemy to
There's
overheat them.
heat pipes coming out of it everywhere, right? The guy with a hose cooling it off.
How does it manage on mining Bitcoin?
Get my fucking bitcoins.
Just to say that I doubt anyone here is a super Nvidia fanboy. I like AMD as well as Nvidia. It's just at the moment Nvidia are winning.
Sorry,
I will
yeah.
say.
I don't
will
want
say
AMD to
this.
die. Some people want AMD to die. When competition dies,
No.
that's when shit goes
I
down.
like AMD, and I think that AMD is just and Nvidia are already starting to branch a little bit. And they've always been kind of close in terms of what they've been doing, and it's just kind of been like, meh. If you want to get a cheaper version of the Nvidia, get AMD. It's almost as good, just a little hotter.
No
But-
one wants AMD to die. I mean, they own the patent to 64-bit technology that Intel get off them. So if their company fails, I'm not sure if we'll see any more 64-bit processors.
Yeah. Let me tell you guys, I always use this example for when there's no fucking competition. Look at YouTube. YouTube could do what the fuck they want whenever they want because they have no competition. Like you have to sign in to leave comments and
Same with Twitch. Like
hook it up with Google. I mean, and have them connected. Like that was bullshit. All because they have no fucking competition.
yeah, it's the reason why like there's no real competition to Twitch either. And that's if you're tired, if you don't like something that's going on in Twitch, you're SOL. So
Yeah.
same with your internet providers. So you want to have competition for those kind of things. But we're kind of way off track. My essential idea was something that was armored, that was long distance for the Corvette. Something that was probably maybe had one or two snub fighter slots because it would make sense to have a snub fighter or maybe like a slot for
Mini
the
carrier.
Well, no,
Again,
for the
Pocket carrier.
Pocket carrier.
what was the ship that's the Argo? Like maybe have a slot to dock an Argo onto it while it's flying, so it has like a search and rescue capability. But other than that,
Is the Argo gonna have guns on it?
no, it's a complete. It's literally a box with thrusters, is what it is. It's a box with thrusters.
I do want the Corvette to be.
Justin TV.
Oh,
I
Source.
saw that too. I was like, dick.
I'd like the
that-
Corvette to be very anti-fighter, though.
Mhm.
I want it to be able to take down a lot of fighters. I want it to have as much space in its hangar bay as possible for ships.
Yeah.
Like I want to try and jam as many Buccaneers as I can in there now.
I don't know if it should be a hangar bay. I think it should just have like a spot where you like literally attach an Argo, like it comes down like and that's
I
it.
think that's probably more sensible, just having like one.
Multiple docking ring or something.
Yeah.
Doesn't the Carrack have like a landing pad and a bay at the same time? Like the bay door, when it closes, there's a little door behind it, right? I know it's subject to change, but I'd always thought that you could land a ship on the Carrack
Yeah.
and then get off EV and just open the door and walk in like it was the front door of a house. So,
Easy
I mean, that's
access.
it's another option, right? And obviously then the question is, do you fly with those stuck to the side? Do they change the mast? Anyways, tangent, sorry.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah. I think that's the last question for the day. So
Okay.
Nick, anybody have anything they want to plug before we go? Because I know we've got the Redacted podcast happens on Wednesdays, and Board Gamers part of that. Wednesdays at like 1? When is it usually your time?
Yeah, it's on some point at Wednesdays. Some sources in the chat. If you want to plug it, source, go plug it. Quick.
Plug it, Source.
4 Eastern.
4
Wait,
Eastern.
Plug that butt.
Trendane, you're on the Friday night show. When does that usually start?
Fridays. It's I don't remember anymore. It was I don't know. Rico's got laryngitis right now, so it's hard to remember. We usually start about 4 p.m. Pacific time, so whenever that is, 7 p.m. Eastern. And then we got an first episode of Bulkheads coming out soon, featuring Grakis and Masai.
And I helped write it.
And you helped write it. That should be coming out
And
soon.
I helped.
Uh,
The episode of what again?
Episode 1 of Bulkheads, which is a Star Citizen machinima.
Yep.
Complete.
I tried out for that and they never called me back.
I'll
that
yell.
was like a year ago, though.
Oh, never mind. This is something else then.
It's the same one, but it was they've come back and redone it. Like it's a retouch of the original Bulkheads that was pitched a year ago.
There's no pink me walking around getting space crabbed to the face.
Space hugger,
Articus.
space crabbed. Yeah.
Oh, Not So Sober Sunday. Gray just said he's got that going on tonight. I don't know. When does that start, Gray? You got to put it in chat.
Midnight.
Yeah, and
midnight Eastern.
Who's going to be on Not So Sober Sunday or Saturday? Sober Sunday. Not So Sober Saturday.
I have no clue.
Oh, okay.
Not me.
Great,
and,
great. I want to be on your Not So Sober Saturdays. Everyone's had a really good time and comes like really drunk the next day. Everyone.
The only problem about that is that it's like 4 a.m. your time, I think, or
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
He said the Mike Berg is going to come on there.
I'm a double-R bastard,
Mike
mate.
Bird, okay.
I can take that. 4 o'clock in the morning.
and then Grakis, you've got you're bringing back Late Night Vacuum, right? That's coming out.
Yeah, I had to take a little bit of a break because flu and laryngitis for me. So Late Night Vacuum will be back on Fridays right around 5 Eastern with myself and Dublar Thackeray on my Twitch channel.
So all the things we mentioned are all Star Citizen podcasts or projects that are being worked on. Feel free to look them up. We've got the Redacted podcast. We've got the Not So Sober Saturday. We've got Late Night Vacuum and Bulkheads. So look up all those things if you get a chance.
And an
to.
exclusive here, StarCast is making a return
On the 16th.
Yeah,
That's
on
on Monday.
Thursdays now.
Is that Thursdays? Oh yeah, that is Thursday. I was looking at my own calendar, be like, why is 16th is Monday?
Get wrecked.
Yeah, Thursdays. Yeah. So yeah, go back, check out StarCast for Thursdays because StarCast is
Geek
amazing
Domo's
and
channel.
Wonderful. Geek. Let me do that real quick for the follow.
I just want to. Can I just do one thing?
No, you may not. I'm just gonna ask.
So, HCS voice packs. Those guys they know about 2.4 coming out with different keybinds, and I wanted to say that anyone who has bought or won a voice pack, that the plan is when 2.4 goes live, by the time that goes live, there will send you an email. You'll be able to download it, basically just overwrite it, and it will work for 2.4 because we're testing it right now and we're tracking. So I've been getting a lot of questions, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to let everyone know that, yes, we're aware. It's changed. It's going to happen.
I completely forgot about the giveaway. My bad, Noobifier.
It's okay.
Holy shit.
Gio, go ahead and
Plug yourself.
plug yourself. Tell us
Plug
who you are,
myself.
where they
Okay.
can find
Okay. Yep. You guys can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Gio Get Money. Dad Brandon. Okay.
you. And we've got Grakes. Who are you? Where can they find you?
You can find me on twitch.tv/Grakees, Grakees, as well as on Twitter, YouTube. I'm Grakees everywhere, and you'll see me on Bulkhead soon. Had to plug it again.
And on Justin TV, right?
Well, of course on Justin.
Obviously.
Oh, God. And Trendane, who are you? Where can they find you?
I am Trendane, as previously mentioned by being addressed as such. And for most of, I'm not doing a whole lot of Star Citizen stuff aside from Bulkheads, but most of the voice acting stuff that I'm doing, you can find me on Twitch over at Arvan Eleron. I'm part of his voice acting crew over there. In fact, we're doing like an 8-hour D&D stream tomorrow. But
I'm watching that.
you guys will be,
You have to give me the how it's spelled. It's A-R-M. Like
A-R-V-I. Fuck. Never mind. I'll just
Get wrecked.
Put it in the chat in a minute.
I'll just
Yeah, just put it in chat. All of us want to see that.
there. That's it. He's actually doing a charity stream right now for cancer research. So that's
Good
where
man.
I was right before I came over here.
okay, so I'll link that in chat.
Nice.
I already put it in chat.
In our chat, like my
Oh,
chat.
Maybe not. I may have put it in Arvin Eleron's chat. it's Arvception. Okay, let's in
Footception.
There we go.
Oh,
There
hold on,
it
I gotta
is.
give you
Go.
permission.
Damn, got dunked.
There you go. Now do it. Now do it.
That bot.
I was fantasizing about Geo again, and I just got lost. Sorry.
You go ahead
Who
and
doesn't?
post it again because you got
Get
the
lost, get lost in those eyes.
There. And my message was not sent because it's identical to the one that I sent before. Wait 30 seconds. Fuck you, Justin Bieber.
There we go.
Hey.
There we go. Damn it,
That
Grokis. I gotta
bot.
give you permission too.
That bot is amazing. That motherfucker.
I have permission here.
Now you have permission.
Damn, bro.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So we'll move on. Monkey, who are you? Where can they find you?
I'm pretty much on any social media as @BoardGamer UK. Find me on the YouTubes, though. That's the best way to see my stuff because I'm a YouTuber. Also, as a quick plug, I'm giving away a Miss Prospector and very soon a Buccaneer as well. All you've got to do is comment on any of my videos. You don't even need to be subscribed.
It's rigged already. I can tell
Talk
you.
about
now.
his glorious dome. Say his.
It's
his
rigged.
head is
He said I'm
glorious.
winning.
Doesn't even matter. His face is.
He
not
told
in
me
there.
that I was winning.
See, I got the prospect. You get the other ship.
All right, whatever.
So actually, truth is that the base guy in Star Citizen is actually Board Gamer. That's the model is actually Board Gamer.
I knew I recognized those nipples from somewhere.
Oh no, not the slash fiction. Not the slash.
What?
All right.
Only,
So much
only in
like-
Astropub can you get this type of quality.
Quality
baby.
entertainment. Go ahead, Noobifier. Who are you? Where can they find you?
So I'm Noobifier1337, a relatively new YouTuber. I would appreciate a sub, obviously. Been working on the technical side. So I just did a video on the scatter gun. It was pretty cool because I actually think that CIG fixed it since the video. I'm not going to claim that I did that, but I did kind of document it. It was pretty good. I'm fucking guy. Working pretty good with HCS, trying to get that implemented for Star Citizen. So you can find a pretty epic giveaway on my channel about that. Shameless plug. And pretty much anything to do with the technical side of Star Citizen, you're gonna find that on my think of me like an indie YouTuber. You're gonna find the weird stuff, no bullshit, very fast. And
Very fast.
if you're interested, I'm moving like tomorrow, no shit, and I'm building a streaming room. So I'm documenting the whole process of doing that. Nice. So thank you. You're like one of the 3 people that actually watched that video. Because everyone's there for Star Citizen, right? But I am like, I'm going to research it anyways for me. So I decided to put it out there. So if you're at all interested, again, it covers macro, and you can take little pieces of it and integrate it into your own room. I thought it was a cool little segment, and obviously watch and shoot. You're going to see me build an epic stream room if that's interesting. But Star Citizen is still priority for life. Oh,
Life.
for life.
You forgot to
But,
mention that you're moving with me too, New Fire. So we're
Yeah.
gonna do like a dual stream.
Double streaming.
Double moving stream. There we go.
Doesn't
There you
sound
go.
good.
There you
Doesn't
guys go.
sound
See, yeah.
YouTube, Noobafire 1337. I'm on Twitter everywhere. I will stop into your Twitch just to say hi, but I'm not there yet. I'm not a streamer. Thank you.
Alrighty, and of course I am Paul Berserker One, Batman Shelley. I am your humble host and space bartender here at the Astropub. I am always the host of here for Captain's Table. You can catch me live here on Twitch, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Pacific, which is 1 a.m. to like 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. Eastern, and like 6 a.m. to like 8 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And you can always catch the Captain's Table live Saturdays, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific, or it's 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So hope to see you guys back. Like I say every night, I hope to see you guys again soon. But if I don't, I hope to see you someday in the black. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.
Fearless.